Good morning. Welcome back to CWA T20 Blaze action. Today it is round number 4, a beautiful morning in St. Kitts and Nevis. Jamaica, they're taking on Guyana, second and third in the table, and today you can almost consider it a semi-final clash. Jamaica, they're coming off of a 9-wicket loss to Barbados. They'll be hoping that they can rebound today. Probably the batting might have to show some intent at the top for them. Guyana, well, they're a team that has, they've come back into this contest and they had a victory over the Leeward Islands, a 5-wicket win, and they'll be hoping to take that momentum into today. Probably going to be a trial by spin for Guyana. Plafiana Millington, she picked up 3 in the last match. There's Ashmini Munasar. There's also some left-arm spin in there as well from Schultz. So they'll be hoping that their spinners can come to the fore here today. But it's certainly going to be shaping up to another wonderful contest here in St. Kitts and Nevis in this women's T20 Blaze action. The question is, though, how did the toss go? It's time to find out. It's time now for round 4, CWA Women's T20 Blaze. Jamaica taking on Guyana. Stephanie Taylor, Shemaine Campbell, the captains for the sides today. Mr. Felix, once again, is the match referee. Home captain for today, Jamaica. Have a spin, Stephanie. Heads is the call. It's a tail. So, she said, beat me this morning, Jamaica. Stephanie, you've won the toss. What are you going to do this morning?
We're going to have a bat.
Any particular reason why?
The pitch looks really good, and yeah, I think we could, try to put a total on the board and, come out here and defend it.
Your last game, the batting didn't necessarily go as you guys might have wanted. What was the team talk for the girls to kind of get them going again?
Well, we thought that we were a bit slow. Once I find my nick, decided to have a hit, but hopefully, rotating the strike gonna be a big thing, and it has been, I think, a big thing for us that we need to improve on. So hopefully today is the day that we could come out and do that.
Thanks, Steph. Have some fun in the sun. Shemaine Campbell, you lost the toss, having a ball first. How do you feel about that?
Bowling is our strength, so whatever challenge come up for us, so I think we will go out and just execute and do whatever we got to do.
Any change in the side today?
Yeah, we have one changes. We have Digar out and we have Majimutu in.
Well, you're coming off of a win in the last game, and an inspired win almost. What's the team talk coming into this one?
All the girls are fully confident. This is a big game for us, so we just have to come out today and just put on our A game, because over the past back in the 50th, we didn't do as much as we wanted with the bat, but I think today going to be a good day for us.
Have a good one out there, Shemaine. News from the toss. Jamaica, they've won it, and they're going to start first with the bat.
Pleasant good morning from the Warner Park Stadium. It's held at the game between Jamaica and Guyana is about to start. Jamaica won the toss and they have decided to bat first. And it's a pleasant and sunny morning here at Warner Park. As I say, good morning to you, Joel Manning.
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers watching this morning stream. Certainly a lovely bit of sunshine here at Warner Park, as we've grown accustomed over the last few days that we've been here for the CWA Women's T20 Blaze action. Today's shaping up to be what we can probably consider to be a semi-final encounter almost, with Jamaica second on the table and Guyana third. Just one round to play after this. Both teams tied on 8, just net run rate is separating them. So both teams certainly looking to get those points here. Jamaica, defending champions, will want to win here and hopefully go on to win their last one to give themselves that shot at taking a title again. Guyana, though, they are a team who have been re-energized and are playing with a different form of purpose as they're playing for those who would have lost their lives back in Guyana recently in the fire, and they're hoping that they can continue the momentum that they had in that match versus Leeward Islands and bring it here to this game versus Jamaica.
All right, so the two Jamaican openers are in the middle, Rashada Williams and Ferron. They are the two openers for Jamaica. And the opening bowler for Guyana will be Millington. So you have Kenisha Ferron and Rashada Williams are the two openers. And Rashada Williams will be facing the first delivery from Millington, who is bowling from this media center end. And the two umpires are Carl Tuckett and Candice Laborde. So the two umpires is having a brief discussion. So not quite ready to start as yet. It's just about a minute or so, or a few seconds to go before 10 o'clock. We're expecting a good encounter. But Jamaica, to me, in the last game, seemed a bit flat against Barbados.
Yeah, certainly, and it's interesting you mentioned that, because at the toss, Stephanie Taylor also said something similar, and she said that today is really about that intent, and hence why, they opted to bat first here, and she said, it's really about looking almost at trying to ensure you get a good start and then pile on the runs from there. So we'll see how it goes for them. The first ball of the morning.
Outside off stump, wide has been signaled by Carl Tuckett, so the extras won, and the Jamaicans are off to a start in terms of that extra wide delivery by Millington. So she will try once more from this media center end. It's bright sunshine. Flighted and is driving. Will get a single. Goes down to, I think, Gajnabi at long on. She came in off the boundary, she feels. And that's the vice captain. So the batter is off the mark. That's Rashada. She's on 1. And Jamaica in the first over. They are 2 without loss. And we'll try and go through the team for both Jamaica and Guyana in just a minute or two. And Kenisha Ferron will be facing up to Millington from the media center end. So we're hoping to have a good encounter here today. And Ferron is pushing it back down the strip on the offside. So as you indicated, the Bajans, Barbados, would have won the Super 50. They are now leading in the 2020 Blaze. The delivery is pushing to the onside, down to straightest mid-wicket. And there is no chance of a run. But Jamaica, as a defending champion, would want to bounce back and get something in excess of 100 runs. Because anything less than 100 could not be a difficult challenge for Guyana. And pushed into the offside, not fielded cleanly, and the fielding completed. So Jamaica will be looking to get something in excess of 100 runs. Yeah,
certainly that should be the target for them. The pitch looks a very good one. It's been one that we've played on across the Super 50 and this T20 Blaze.
Stop it.
And so Ferron is pushing it back down the strip on the offside, and there is no chance of run. So this pitch has also been used already. I think it was used in the second round. And it's guiding it down towards the back of the point area to bring up the end of the first over. So 1 gone, Jamaica batting first, 2 without loss.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to monitor the surface as we go across the matches today, because of how much cricket has been played on it. I mentioned also the fact that Super 50 was played also on this strip. So the 2 strips we can see visible there are the ones that have been used across the 2 tournaments. And there were questions with regards to whether or not the strip to the left started to just get a bit tired during round number 3. So just interesting to, I guess, monitor the surface here as we head into this round number 4. What's also interesting is that it's going to be Sherry-Ann Fraser picking up the ball. I saw her bowling during the warm-ups this morning, and I do believe, I'm not sure if I'm mistaken on this one, but this might be the first time in the tournament that she's bowling. I know for sure she did not bowl in the Super 50 because she didn't get much play across that. So this could actually be the first time in the T20 Blaze that we're going to see Sherry-Ann Fraser in operation.
All right, so she'll be bowling to Rashada Williams. So Williams is on 1. And Rashada Williams is looking to continue to get amongst the runs for Jamaica. So it's going to be Sherry-Ann Fraser from the Lozak Road end and be bowling to Williams. Short outside the off stump. He's pushing it down into the offside, down to the cover area. And the fielder coming across to her, that's Monisa. And she feels, prevents any possibility of a run. So we'll have to see how the pitch play. They would have opened first over with spin, and now their medium pace are coming from the far end. So we'll see how the pitch plays. So it's Fraser in a first over from that far end. Rashada is driving from the outer portion, goes down to the gully area or the point, down to point. And Shanita Grimmon is in the way. She feels, and there is no chance to run. But in terms of the standard of play throughout the competition so far, your thoughts on the batters and the bowling?
Well, I have thought at times teams haven't necessarily taken full advantage of the power plays, but it's still having some pretty good games across all 3 rounds that we've seen so far in this T20 Blaze.
So Fraser will be coming in to bowl to Rashada Williams. He's playing at it, caught behind, that beautiful delivery, touchdown with some pace as well. And Williams played at it, edge foul taken behind, and Jamaica have lost the first wicket with the score on 2.
Yeah, a very pleasing wicket for any fast bowler. Just skipping off of the surface, good pace, good bounce on offer, a bit of movement away, and an easy catch being taken by Shemaine Campbell behind the stumps. That's going to make them smile here. The first wicket down. Rashada Williams, she goes for 1. It's 2 for 1.
Excellent start for Jamaica, and that will now bring the captain of the Jamaica team. She batted through the innings against in the last game for Jamaica, and I think she made 34 not out, and she'll be looking to bat and play a long innings for Jamaica. But Jamaica losing a wicket so early certainly would put pressure on the new batters.
Yeah, it certainly will put some pressure on them, especially given that they won the toss and wanted to really come out here and put on a performance. But Sherry-Ann Fraser, I think this is maybe what Guyana missed a bit across their matches, that additional pace. She's just a bit faster than Shabika Gajnabi. Also, you can see just a bit more bounce as well for her, and that really was the undoing of Rashada Williams, because Shabika Gajnabi was in fact the preferred seamer for them across the tournament so far. But good to see Sherry-Ann Fraser out in the sun and in operation.
So she's bowling to the captain of the Jamaica team. Outside the off stump, not going to be interested, as allowed it to go through. Yes, that delivery, touchdown just on about the off stump, had some pace, and Williams played at it, and some slight movement took the edge, and Campbell taking a straightforward catch, and the Jamaicans have lost an early wicket, and the Guyanese are elated. Jamaica winning the toss and batting here at Warner Park, and Fraser will be coming in from the far end. Ball to captain of Jamaica, getting the delivery, hurriedly plays it down towards the fine leg area, will get a single. So she's off the mark with a single. Total has gone on to 3. So delivery on the center leg stump and played easily down to fine leg for a single. So Fraser will continue from the far end, and 2 batters just had a quiet word in the middle, and maybe Captain Stephanie Taylor is just alerting the other opener that the ball is coming off the pitch with some pace, and she would have to be careful as Kenisha Ferron be facing up for the first time to Fraser, who is bowling from the far end. Ferron, not yet off the mark, has faced some 5 deliveries wide down the onside. The signal now by umpire Laborde. So Extras moves on by 1, and the total has progressed to 4. So she want to get it straighter than that.
Yeah, just going for a bit of effort there. You can see it in the face when she came down there with that particular delivery, just getting the line on that particular occasion wrong, but certainly not spoiling what has been a fantastic over from her so far to pair with Millington from the other end.
So Fraser will try once more from the far end. Short outside the off stump. She's forcing it down to cover, and the over has been completed. So the second over has been completed. Jamaica batting first, 4 for 1.
Yeah, just 2 runs from both opening overs. You would have to say that this is the start that Guyana would have wanted. They bowled first versus the Leeward Islands, got off to a relatively good start there as well, and it was really that trial by spin for them, especially given the likes of Munasar in their side. There's also Kezia Schultz as well, and then Plafiana Millington here in operation, who picked up 3. So if they could maybe even just pick up 1 more, it could spell some problems for the middle order of Jamaica, who have struggled somewhat in terms of, especially the last game, no batter going and over a run a ball for them.
So Millington will bowl to Stephanie Taylor. She's easy onto the front foot, pushed it down on the onside, and there is no chance of a run. So in terms of the Jamaica batting, they are expecting the captain, Stephanie Taylor, to make some runs. McLean would have done well in the Super 50, and Taylor will be expecting to play a long innings. She, as I indicated before, would have batted long in the last game, trying to get back into form, because I think in recent times, Taylor has not been amongst the runs.
Yeah, probably not getting as many as she knows that she's capable of getting, Stephanie Taylor.
She faces up to Millington onto the back foot, forces to get an easy single, goes down to long on, where the captain Gajnabi is in the way. 1 more to the total. It has gone on to 6 for 1, or 5 for 1 in over number 3. So it's Kenisha Farron. She is not yet off the mark. She has faced some 6 deliveries, and she'll be facing up to Millington. On the onside, played it in the air, over forward of squares, going down towards the boundary. It will go across the ropes now for 4. It was a delivery on the leg stump, and all that Karen Farron had to do was just help it into the onside, played it in the air, over forward of square, and down towards the boundary for 4.
Yeah, looking back at that shot, probably not necessarily in total control of it, as it looked almost to be a leading edge, as that's the wicket that we're seeing again there on the screen from Sherry-Ann Fraser. But that one coming off the edge, and fortunately for her, finding the gap in the leg side to be the first boundary for Jamaica.
She's off the mark. She's on 4. Faces up to Millington. She's coming forward and driving crisply back to the bowler, who feels well. So in over number 3, and Jamaica won the toss and decided to bat. They have lost the wicket of Rashada Williams, caught off the bowling of Fraser in the first over, and she made 1 flatter, faster, and Farron is in behind it, pushed it back down the strip. So to move up the end of the third over, Jamaica 9 for 1.
Yeah, a bit more productive in an over there for Jamaica. They'll be hoping that that probably could be the start of some momentum for them. Need to just, I guess, maybe just show a bit more intent, that intent that the captain would have talked about at the toss. And it'll be very interesting to see how Stephanie Taylor goes about her innings here today, having mentioned that maybe, you know, might see her take a risk or 2 more here, especially at the top of the innings with the power play still in operation. Only 2 fielders can be outside of the circle. Those 2 for Guyana at the moment, third man and fine leg, as Fraser continues in operation.
So she will be bowling to the captain of the Jamaica team, Stephanie Taylor. And she's driving from the inner portion, beats the keeper, coming down towards the third man, and it will run close to the boundary, and that has gone for 4. So 4 runs from a delivery pitch stop, and Taylor was looking to drive into the offside, came from the inner portion of the bat, went past the off stump and past the keeper, down towards the boundary for 4.
Shouldn't have been a 4. A better effort required there on the boundary. A bit of a misfield in the end, that ball just going through her hands and just getting the basics wrong there, Nia Latchman. And because of that, 4 runs to the bat of Stephanie Taylor.
So with that 4, Taylor has gone on to 6. And some slight adjustment to the third man. Fraser's trying to get the attention of the fielder, asking her to move to her left. She probably was a bit too wide at third man. And they were able to pick up 4. That's Jamaica. So they're 13 for 1 in over number 4. Fraser to Taylor. And on the leg stump, she was probably looking to pull out of the line of that delivery, but the ball came from the bat and went down into the onside. She will get a single. And umpire look like she's on a signal dead ball because she probably did not play a shot because realized she was looking to pull out of the line of that delivery. And so they will now have to go back to the respective creases.
What I like from Cheyenne Fraser at the moment is the pace that she's working up here at Warner Park. We've not necessarily seen many quick bowlers across the tournament in the Super 50R or the T20 Blaze. Probably only Barbados carrying one of the quicker pacers in this tournament and the experience of her as well.
So Fraser will come into bowl to Taylor. On the onside, she's flinching while playing a shot, pushed it down into the onside, got an easy single. And that's Scholes. Casey Scholes coming in from straightest mid wicket, one more to the total, 14 for 1. So Fraser certainly has been generating some fair bit of pace from the pitch thus far.
Yeah, certainly. I was mentioning the pacer from Barbados. Amelia Connell is the only other one that really looks, to have that little extra edge in terms of the pace factor. But nice to see 23-year-old Cheyenne Fraser here in operation.
On the onside, looking to clip it, misses. Wide has been signaled, and so Extras moves on by 1. Another single to the total. And it has gone on to 15, and just a bit offline. Maybe trying to generate a bit too much pace.
Yeah, probably that, or it could be the fact that, as I mentioned, this is probably the first time I believe she's bowling in the tournament. Probably maybe just a little short of work in terms of the bowling aspect. And I wonder if it's because of maybe an injury or trying to preserve something that could have potentially been going wrong with her.
Ball to Farron. Farron is playing at the delivery outside the off stump. Much better line. A bad shot. Was a bit too close to her for that shot. Looking to force it into the offside. Good delivery. Good combat delivery from Fraser.
Yeah, I remember looking around the hotel and seeing her working, especially on her fitness and that kind of stuff. So in my mind, I was wondering, if it's a case of she's just trying to get herself back into it. I remember even before games, we're starting her heading across into the practice nets and putting in some work as well, getting her first outing with the ball here.
So Cheyenne Fraser in the second over, 1 for 8. The bowling to Farron outside the off stump short. She's punching it down towards the back of the point area. And that's Shanita Grimon. She's in the way she feels, preventing the possibility of a run. So Jamaica would want to get a good partnership from these two. On the other hand, I'm sure Guyana will be hoping to pick up another wicket or two to put pressure on the Jamaicans. Jamaica, they are the defending champions. And Fraser bowling over number 4 from the far end. Driving down the ground, down to mid-off to bring up the end of over number 4. At the end of it, Jamaica batting first. They are 15 for 1.
Yeah, played quite a few shots in that over, but none really coming off. The inside edge is the only one that found its way to the boundary thanks to a missed field. But probably at the moment, Jamaica might just want to rethink in terms of how they're currently going at it. I'm looking at Kanisha Farron at the moment and probably telling myself she's trying to just go a bit too hard. Probably at some of them, I told myself she maybe missed out, especially on that short ball, which was the 5th ball of that previous over, short and wide. Any opening batter would love to capitalize on that, especially with the fielding restrictions. So probably at the moment, maybe just trying to go a bit too hard, Farron, but still. Overs left at this encounter, still time for them. She's there at the crease. Probably by now you would say maybe she's gotten the pace of the surface and she would like now to kind of just kick on a bit to really give Jamaica that start that they're hoping for in this match.
Yes, that is one of the things we have seen thus far for the tournament. The batters are mainly looking for big shots. When you can pick up lots of singles, there are lots of open spaces in the field and in the field. And we thought that the batters probably should be looking to work the ball around more to pick up singles. But we have seen a change of bowling. Shanita Grimon has been brought into the attack from the immediate center end.
Stop it.
And the captain Taylor just eases onto the front foot, just pushed it back on the offside. Jamaica at the start of over number 5. They are 15 for 1. Taylor is driving crisply into the offside and he goes through mid-off and he will go into the boundary for a lovely shot. Beautifully timed, but the field at mid-off got to it. I think she probably would have dived over it and it went underneath and into the boundary for 4. A lovely shot from Taylor.
Certainly a wonderful shot from her, and that's actually what I was referring to in terms of in terms of the approach of going for the runs, because certainly you still need to be looking for those boundaries, but I felt it's just a case of maybe looking to overhit it on that occasion. The timing was excellent, helped by another misfield by Schultz there mid-off, but that is the type of batting that I was kind of just looking to describe for Jamaica.
Outside the off stump, looking to force it into the offside misses. Taken behind by the keeper, so Stephanie Taylor be mindful of the fact that she would want to stick around and play a long innings for Jamaica. Griman onto the back foot and came from the inner portion of the bat, looking to probably force it into the offside ball. Came back in towards Taylor, looking to give herself room, but she was a bit cramped, and it came from the inner portion of the bat. As Griman over the wicket, goes to Taylor. Taylor is driving and beating outside the off number. Flight to delivery. She came tentatively onto the front foot, looking to drive, and was beaten by a good delivery. Yeah,
the length on that occasion was perfect. The pace of delivery as well was perfect from Shanetta Griman.
So Griman over the wicket. Taylor onto the back foot to a good delivery, spinning away from the outer portion of the bat, goes down into the offside to the end of the fifth over. At the end of it, the Jamaicans batting first. They are 19 for 1.
Yeah, just that 4 in the over for them. But I really enjoy the pace currently that Shanetta Griman is bowling at. Just slightly slower than Plafiella Militon. And we saw the gesture from the skipper, Stephanie Taylor, in terms of the previous delivery to that one that you would have seen as the final ball of the over. Just gesturing in terms of the turn that she was able to get out to the surface. And as we've gone over this tournament, the amount of matches that we're playing out, we certainly do expect that these spinners will come into the game a lot more and come into the game a lot earlier as well, in terms of the ability to just turn the ball, because the surface is a lot drier than we started here in the Super 50 competition. So the spinners certainly will enjoy the conditions here on often. And as soon as I talk about spin, there's another spinner coming to operation. Kezia Schultz will be coming to bowl a bit of left arm spin into this contest now. So it's a trial by spin for Jamaica, and so far you would have to say that things are going the way of Guyana. Starts with a beautiful delivery once again, that control in terms of the pace, and certainly getting it right here in Guyana at the moment, reading the conditions well, kind of similar to how they were in that last match that they played versus the Leewards as well. Unfortunate that that one didn't find its way back onto the stumps.
Playing in the dark, and he took the inner portion of the bat and just evaded the stumps.
They pick up one. Cheyenne Fraser doing the work, coming around to her left. You would have to say, though, that another team who has not necessarily gotten or taken advantage of the power play overs here. We're into over number 6.
Oh, yeah, stop it. Yeah.
But certainly a wonderful contest brewing here. I mentioned the fact that this could almost be classified or considered to be a semi-final encounter for these sides. The winner of this will certainly set themselves up quite nicely heading into the final round, which will be played on Saturday morning, quite early as well. All 3 games being played at 8 a.m. in the morning. Maybe a few sleepy eyes on Saturday morning.
Stoop down. Oh, yes.
Power play completed. It's 21 for 1.
And the addition of Fraser has certainly struck for Guyana. They picked up a wicket. But more importantly than that, Joel, the pace. I'm impressed by the pace, because we haven't seen a lot of quicker stuff in this tournament or the Super 50. And just an observation, I know you and Gary said that we have been playing on the same pitches, but the Super 50 we played on the pitch which is further west, and then what I call pitches number 4 and pitch number 2. And then we shifted to 2 separate pitches for this, the T20 Blaze.
Well, my sincere apologies on that one. My eyes thought they looked similar. Well, it'll be similar in terms of Shanetta Grimmin. She's here to bowl her second. And a similar story for Jamaica, just one added to the total.
Based on what we've been seeing, any total above 90 should be defendable.
I guess it would almost depend, because I'm looking at this Guyana side, and I do tell myself that 90 could give Jamaica a chance, but I would still favor Guyana in a situation like this. I guess a good connection with that work for Shabika Gajnabi, and she does it quite well. I'm telling myself that, funny enough, in terms of looking to be safe, even though, yes, in terms of a couple par scores we've seen 80s and 90s occasionally doing the trick in this T20 Blaze, I do know that in terms of safety and security, we want to be above 100 here, Jamaica, especially given the conditions, because we haven't seen much in the surface in terms of what you would consider to be demons, and it hasn't necessarily looked too slow either. There's been a bit of turn, that much I can say. But all in all, it looks a surface of runs, and that's going to be 4 of them.
Yeah, just drifted into the pads there. And Stephanie Taylor, she hasn't had a lot to score from, but she has made very good connection with this one. Deep backward square was vacant, and so she picked up a boundary.
Yeah, just staying in line there, Shanetta Grimmin. Easy work for the likes of Stephanie Taylor, given her experience. And it's because of that experience that she will want to kick on here. She got into the 30s in the last match, but by her standards, with a relatively slow 30 that she was able to get, she will want that at a quicker pace plus more here. Timing perfection once again, just for 1 though. 7 overs bowled, it's 28 for 1.
And Joel, what we've seen from a lot of the batters in this tournament is that they get off to a relatively slow start, and then they get impatient. We are looking forward to seeing a difference from the professionals, from the seniors. And in the last game, Stephanie Taylor did show some patience. She got to 30, 32, and she will be looking to bring that form into this game. She's into the wicket early, because they lost the first wicket very early. And so she would be telling herself that if she can stay there and bat deep into this inning, that she should be able to get Jamaica to a score of around 100.
Yeah, they scamper back for 2 there. Probably could have been a better effort at short mid-wicket to maybe get a hand on that one. And fielding certainly will come in to play here as well. I do recall in terms of Jamaica's match versus Barbados not having the best of times in the field, Jamaica. And we've seen occasionally a couple teams just letting down the guard, a couple drop catches, a couple misfields. We've seen 1 or 2 here for the day that have produced boundaries as well. So we're looking at 31 for 1, but in fact it could have been roughly maybe 24 for 1 if the fielding was on par for Guyana. And it's just those little small moments, those half chances, especially at the start of a match, that causes people to just clamp down on teams and restrict them. So Guyana will be hoping that they can just pick up their socks, as they say, in terms of the fielding. Because bowling-wise, as we can see from that delivery, it's been fantastic from us, really just to support them now in all aspects, all facets of the game. The outstretched arms of umpire Candice Laborde,
Come on, girls. Come on.
hailing from Trinidad and Tobago. Well, that one swept away and will bring a result that they enjoy a boundary for the skipper again.
Overcorrection that time by Schultz in that she bowled one which was close to the off stump, just wide, didn't force the experienced Taylor to play. And then she overcorrected, bowled it wide of the off stump, created a wide, and then overcorrected on the other side of the pitch, and a sweep shot resulting in 4. Good, clever batting by Taylor.
Yeah, certainly takes her above a run ball now.
Wide ball.
And this time goes back outside of that off stump, but too far
Come on, girls. Come on, girls.
once again. And Cheyenne Fraser now having a word with her, a bit of advice being imparted. What was that advice? I guess we're about to see. Just inside of that line to close out 8. It's 38 for 1.
And 10 from that over, so Jamaica will consider that to be a very big over for them. It's the biggest so far for the inning, 38 for 1, and they've slightly increased the scoring rate, Jamaica. And we're not yet at the halfway point, so they would be still telling themselves, listen, if these two bat, then they will be able to get a good partnership and a good score for Jamaica.
Yeah, certainly if these two do get towards over number 10, get into 12 or 13, maybe the one probably taking on that role of just being a bit of the positive, maybe one taking on just maybe a risk or 2 more. Certainly that score will get above 100 for Jamaica. Grimmond into her 3rd now.
Stop that. Stop that. All right. All
And
right.
starts how she finished the previous over for her with a dot ball.
Come on, Grimmy.
Just 11 runs from her 2.1.
Stop that.
Well, uses the feet and should get 2 here.
Hold on, Cassie.
And that's something as well that we've not necessarily seen from a lot of batters. Also, that confidence in terms of utilizing the feet. The skipper probably thought that there could have been a 3rd on the misfield. They're good looking, but even that is good to see at the moment from Kenisha Farron. I can recall Anissa Mohammed being a batter that utilized her feet quite well also. But not many have opted to come down the wicket to the spinners. Comes down again. And this is going to play on the mind now, Shanetta Grimmond, in terms of the lengths that she opts to bowl. So the previous delivery was one that was just a touch fuller. She got to the pitch of it, dragged it back just a bit there. Good intent being shown, momentum sliding towards Jamaica.
Stop it, Tilly.
And it's just moments like that. Should have been stopped, but it's one.
Come on, girls.
Yeah, you need to see a better effort. You need to see the Guyanese fielding being a little bit sharper. Just 2 steps to the left.
Well, this could be a chance. In fact, no. And it's parried towards the boundary. So another misfield results in more runs for Jamaica.
And importantly, those are runs to Farron, because you want to see her accelerating her scoring rate. So far, Taylor is 26 from 26. Farron has now gone on to 14 from 23.
It looks as if Farron is the one that's going to take the attack to Guyana. Another productive over for them. 9 gone, 4-7 for 1.
And again, we see the scoring rate being accelerated. And this is exactly what the Jamaicans would want. The slow bowling, for the most part, from Guyana has been good. But the difference has been that they have missed some balls where they could have saved runs, saved boundaries, and those have been let through. And as a result of that, the Jamaicans have been let off the hook just a little bit.
Come on, team.
There's going to be more spin for them. Ashmini Munasar comes into the attack now. He's skipper of the West Indies under 19 side. Has had a good time relatively across the Super 50 and here in the T20 Blaze as well. Been fairly economical. And should be hoping that she can maybe be the one to break this partnership for Guyana.
19 runs scored in the last 2 overs, Joel, so that's picking up the momentum quite a bit. 10 in the previous over, 9 in the over just completed. And so the Guyanese captain, they have decided that, listen, they are now going to change the momentum by changing the bowling. And the projected score has now gone over 100 for the first time. It's now looking at 104.
Well, 3 out on the leg side for Ferrin. Long on, deep mid-wicket. And a deep square leg, a cover sweeping on the boundary.
Stop it, Fluffy. Start dash.
A bit flatter
Go on, girls. Keep going, girls.
from Munasar in comparison to that last over that we saw from Shanetta Grimman. Probably because she's seen Ferrin using her feet. Dances down again.
Go on, Ash. Keep going, Ash.
And
Keep going,
this
Ash.
probably could be a very interesting battle here. Who will come out on the right side of it?
Stop that, Fluffy. Good.
She's looking
Come on, Ash.
to get after her. You can see it and see the slight disappointment in her face as well, knowing that maybe just a bit to the right, probably opening the wrist just a bit more, could have gotten to. This time finds that gap and gets off strike.
Go on, Ash. Keep going, Ash.
Just delayed it nicely and played a little bit wider to the left of the fielder. Clever batting.
Yeah, certainly the difference there, obviously not necessarily looking for the power that she was looking for the 3 previous deliveries, looking for that single, weighting the shot quite nicely, and I mentioned just opening those wrists.
Stop it, Talia.
Flatter again from Munasar, and probably not happy with the effort short mid-wicket.
Come on, Ash.
1 to go before we get to the halfway stage of this innings. It's a swing across it. They're looking for the stumping. Well, the halfway stage, Jamaica, they've reached 49 for 1.
Didn't move out of a crease at that time, just stayed put and tried to clear a mid-wicket. Missed it completely. Umpire Carl Tuckett was in the right spotted square. And so 10 overs completed and 49 for 1 is the score by Jamaica, winning the toss and batting first. And the recent exploits have suggested that they're looking to accelerate. 9 and 2. I like to look at the last 2 overs, Gary. And so 11 runs in the last 2 overs. And this is a 2-run over by Munisa, who came in at the far end to replace Schultz. And we see that Jamaica 49 for 1 at the halfway point of the inning. I want to suspect that they might be satisfied with that.
Yes, they will be, because, and they should be encouraged as well, because we have seen now Stephanie Taylor is beginning to look better and better. She has been timing the ball a lot better than she has been doing it for the season, and now we see the other partner.
Not anything unusual from Guyana in terms of their approach in their bowling. A lot of spin. And I have to ask you though, Gary, as a fast bowler yourself, former fast bowler for Nevis, of course, Sherian Fraser.
Yeah, she looks very, very nippy. I thought that wicket that she got, it was a quick delivery, and there was some swing as well. And I thought he would have beaten the batter for pace. But she looked really, really good. The quickest I've seen thus far for the season.
Smart catch too.
Very
good catch by Campbell. She has good hands.
So we're about to see the resumption after that break. Stephanie Taylor in the last game, she would have made 34 from 43 deliveries, a strike rate of 79. And now she's striking a little better in this inning, so it means that she's getting back into form. Because, as I would have indicated before, she would not have been making a lot of runs, and thus so now the last game I'm sure would have given her some confidence, and now she's now showing that experience is now coming to the fore, and she's batting much better. And now after the break, we've seen Gajnabi, the vice captain of the Guyanese team, has now come into the attack, and she'll be bowling to Stephanie Taylor.
And another bit of pace as Gajnabi from over the wicket, and Taylor is back, forcing into the offside, finds extra cover, no runs.
So Taylor will be looking to bat and bat long, a good first delivery on the off stump. And Gajnabi asking the field on the cover boundary to just move across to her left.
Jamaica lost the first wicket with the score on 2. Gajnabi to Taylor. This one is short, hit in the air, but it will land safely just inside the circle as Long On comes in to recover, and they'll have a single. That brings up the half century for Jamaica. It's 50 for 1 as Stephanie Taylor moves on to 28 from 29, and Ferron, who is on 16 from 29, comes up to take strike.
Well, the projected score based on the current run rate is just 97, but I'm sure Taylor will be hoping they can get up to 110, 115.
Gajnabi bowls to Ferron. This one is hit in the air. Again, it will land teasingly, safely, just inside the circle again, as Long On comes running off the boundary. And another single, 51 for 1. Ferron goes on to 17. And Taylor, who is on 28, comes up to take strike, reign over number 11.
We've seen 2 missed time shots by both batters and dropping well clear of the fielders on the onside.
Gajnabi again to Taylor, who is driving firmly but can only drag it from the inner portion of the bat down on the onside. She didn't move her feet across, Gary, didn't get there, and no runs resulting.
Since the water break, it seems that the timing for both batsmen have been off. They have not been timing since the water break.
Gajnabi to Taylor, who is driving pleasingly into the offside. But there's a fielder chasing off the boundary. They want to, they'll take 2. And they come back for that, complete it successfully. Taylor moves on to 30.
Excellent running. You want to take the first run quickly and put some pressure on the fielder. The fielder down on the deep cover boundary had to run across to a right. That's Monisar. And they were able to come back quickly for 2 runs.
Significantly, Gary, the partnership has gone to 51.
Good partnership.
Gajnabi starts a run, but Taylor pulls away. She's not quite ready. And so umpire Carl Tuckett holds out the restraining arms. And she'll start again, Gajnabi, to bowl to Taylor. And for this delivery, she's delaying the shot, plays it down to backward point. Fraser is alert, comes hearing in. And then a little bit of misfortune. She threw the ball, and the fielder there at mid-wicket turned her back on the play. And the end result is that she didn't realize that the batters were coming through for a single. So a little bit of a mistake there by Mangro. But it results in another run, 54 for 1 in over number 11. Here's a delivery, played away into the onside. Long On will go chasing across to her right, and they'll get a single. And that will take the score to 55 for 1. 11 overs completed.
So we saw six runs coming from that over, and over in which we saw 2 missed time shots from the batters and could have resulted in a wicket for Jamaica. But fortunately for the Jamaicans, the ball fell in no man's land, so they were able to be able to get runs from those 2 shots. And so Jamaica will want to continue, want to hope that this partnership will continue. They have now put together 52 runs, and that will want to continue, but they also want to step up the scoring rate as well.
Monisar from the far end will bowl to Ferron. In her second over, and comes up now. This one is wide of the off stump, played down to extra cover, and there is no run. Here is she opening the face of the bat, gets it down to backward point, and again there is no run. So quiet start to the over.
Quiet start to the second half of this batting for Jamaica.
Here is Munisa once more, and she's going back, trying to play it into the offside. Campbell has the bails off in a flash, but she's securely grounded, is Ferron, and so no runs.
It was a very good delivery. She was beaten for it was a flatter, faster delivery, and Ferron was beaten, taken behind smartly by the keeper.
Here is Munisa. This one is played down, clear of the field at backward point. They have crossed for one. They come chasing back for a second as it is pulled back just about 2 yards inside the boundary. And so they get 2 runs. Ferron will move now to 19 and the score to 56.
It was a good shot. The ball wide outside the off stump, and she guided it down towards the backward point area for 2.
Here is Munisa once more. Played it into the offside, finds extra cover. There will be no runs. As we see the umpire just simply looks across to her partner at square leg and signals the number of balls left in the over. Munisa once more. And this one, she pulls it down short. It is struck straight back to the bowler, who takes it smartly. Pulls it down a little bit short. There did Munisa. It was struck firmly, but it went straight back to Munisa, who took a bold and caught catch. That one was struck firmly, but she took it gleefully. Second wicket down for Jamaica. And so after bringing up their half-century partnership, I'm sure that they would have wanted these two to stay together longer.
Of course, but an important breakthrough for the Guyanese team, because these 2 batters are looking to continue to get after the Guyanese bowlers, and they were able to get to break the partnership. And now we have seen the advent of McLean. McLean is a clean striker, and she'll be looking to stick around with her captain Taylor. Taylor is now having a quiet word with her, trying to encourage her to stay in the middle to see how many runs they can get. So Ferron made 20, and so that wicket fell, and Jamaica would want to. These 2 are the 2 better players in the Jamaica team. We're hoping that they can put on a good partnership.
Gajnabi will bowl her second over, and she's at the top of a mark and will bowl to Stephanie Taylor. Of course, Guyana just picked up a wicket, last ball of the last over. Here is Gajnabi, short, delayed, played nicely down to third man. That one should have the legs to cross the boundary for 4, and it does. And it was short, and Taylor was quite aware of the field placing. Short third man was in, and delayed it, played it nicely, and cleared the fielder, and picked up 4 runs. 61 for 2.
All she had to do was just get it past the fielder at short third man, and it would have been 4. It was short, and she played it well.
Gajnabi once more, and for this delivery, she's striking her on the pad. Carl Tuckett shakes the head in the negative, and so they'll have to try again.
Well, that was a good delivery. Came back sharply from outside the off-stump. Taylor, I'm sure, was looking to give herself room again, but the ball came back sharply, and umpire Carl Tuckett shaking his head in the negative.
Gajnabi to bowl to Taylor. And for this delivery, she's driving into the offside. Finds long off coming off the boundary. They'll have a single. And Taylor will move to 34 it is. And the score to 62 for 2.
Yeah, that's middle. Off stump.
Have to check the score for
Till right
Taylor,
arm over
Gary.
and 3 to come.
She's actually on 36. Gajnabi once more. And she's bowling to McLean. And she turns this one into the onside, finds mid-wicket, no runs. So 4 from the very first delivery of the over. And so 5 in the over so far. Current run rate is at 4.96, which is giving us a projected score of 99. McLean has a delivery from Gajnabi. She's turning again into the onside, finds mid-wicket, and again no runs. So just nicely back of a length.
Keep going, guys.
And 4 deliveries gone in the over. And my scorers will catch up with us soon. They're showing McLean having 0 from 1. She has faced more than that. Here is she getting behind the delivery, plays it into the offside, extra cover, tidies up, and a good recovery in the over. Gary, 4 from the first ball, it went for 5. At the end of it, the score is showing 62 for 2.
Yes, and she was able to keep the hard-hitting McLean quiet because McLean is a hard hitter, and she didn't give her any ball to drive or too short enough for her to swing into the onside. She kept on a good back of her length, and she was just able to just push it into the onside without picking up many runs. So the Guyanese will be happy that they are not allowed the Jamaicans to run away with things after the first water break.
And Stephanie Taylor, she's there, and she has a high score of the tournament so far, and we'll be looking for more. Monisa, wicket with the last ball of the last over, and here is Taylor playing that one nicely into the offside. To the left of the field at extra cover. She feels well, no runs.
Come on, Ashwini, come on.
Monisa bowling from the Lossack Road end, and she's driving firmly Taylor over the head of the bowler. Monisa very nicely done down straight behind the bowler, and saves 2 runs, does that fielder. And so the score will move on by 2. We make it 64 for the loss of 2. Jamaica batting.
Yes, so Taylor would want to continue to increase the run rate and get the Jamaicans over the 100 mark.
Here is Monisa, and she's chasing a wide deliveries. Taylor missed it, and she's securely grounded because again the bails were quickly taken off by Campbell. Monisa gets through her overs very quickly, comes up to bowl to Taylor, who is again driving at this one, misses, goes through for the keeper, no runs.
She was driving without moving the feet, a big gap between bat and pad, and she was beaten and taken behind by the keeper. She now retaking her guard.
Come on, Ash, come on, Ash.
Gary, you must say that this is very good, smart bowling by Monisa. She's changing the pace quite often on her deliveries. Here is she pulling down one, and this one is punched down to the fielder on the long on boundary. They'll have a single, and that will take the score on to 65 it is. We're still without the score on the monitor. 67 for the loss of 2.
Right hand over, 1 more to come.
McLean comes up to take strike. And Monisa is giving this one a little bit more flight, played down to the fielder coming from off the mid-off area. She fumbles it and gives a chance for a second run. Just a little bit too excited there because there was always going to be one. But she came in quickly, missed it. 2 more to the score though. Goes on to 69 for the loss of 2 wickets. Jamaica batting for us.
So the Jamaicans trying now to get on top of the Guyanese bowling, but we have seen a very good over from the bowler Monisa at the far end. You saw a few deliveries where Taylor was looking to force into the offside. She missed them, and so a good over, I must say, from Monisa.
Yeah, that's middle.
Gajnabi will be coming to bowl her 3rd over,
Come on, Gaj, come on, Gaj.
and she's bowling from the media center end. Bowling to Stephanie Taylor, and for this delivery she's getting a good one, just about on the stumps, and plays it down the track on the onside. Mid-wicket fields, no runs.
So we are a bit handicapped without the scores. The monitor, the score has been lost, and we are gone away from the manual scoring in those days. When we have a manual score, we wouldn't have been in this situation, but be that as it may, delivery on the off stump taken by the keeper.
The big scoreboard is telling me that it's 67 for 2.
Go on, Gaj, keep going, Gaj. Come on, girls.
Gashnabi turns below us and goes up now to bowl to Taylor. And she's getting a slower delivery, plays it down to Fraser, who is very alert, comes in. She looks like a good fielder. She was fielding one-handed, had to throw on the way in a hurry, but they completed a single. And so the score will move up now to 68 for the loss of 2.
Keep working,
Fraser taking strike. And for this delivery, she's playing it out into the offside. And there is Fraser again moving to her right.
Keep going, guys.
Kicks it down for the field out. Mid-off to extra cover to field. Just another single, 70 for 2.
Keep going, girls. Come on, girls.
And we're coming close to the end of over number 15. 70 for the loss of 2 Jamaica. Taylor on strike. And for this delivery, it's a good one. Another slower ball. And turned into the onside. They have a shy at the stumps. And misses. But Taylor will get another run. The score will move on to 71 for the loss of 2 wickets.
Come on, girls.
All right, so the 15th over is almost to an end based on the score on the monitor, 70 for 2. So we'll try and get it sorted out.
McLean is on strike. She's on 3. And she plays it into the offside. Finds extra cover. Brings up the end of the over. Actually corrected. The score here is now showing 70 for the loss of 2 wickets. 15 overs gone. And after Gary, you will hear the voice of Joel Manning.
All right, so we have just 5 overs remaining, so 30 deliveries, 30 legal deliveries. The Jamaicans we're hoping to get at least 30. If they can get 30, it will take them up to 100. And if they get more than 30 runs, they can get up to 110. The Guyanese, on the other hand, we're hoping that they can keep things tight, and not only keep things tight, they'll be looking to get some wickets as well to put pressure on Jamaica. So with 5 overs remaining, Joel, the Jamaicans will be hoping to get past the 100 mark.
Yeah, certainly. It is crunch time, the business end of this innings. They've got what we consider to be that platform set for them in terms of, one, their wickets in hand, 8 wickets, which means that the amount of risk that they can take in these last 30 balls is a little greater than some of the other teams that we've seen. They've also got some runs on the board in terms of 70, and that is kind of par in terms of what we've seen teams have around this mark. So everything to get for them, and the pressure probably a little more on Guyana in terms of the ability now to restrict in these final 30 balls.
So it's Monisa, we're bowling her 4th over. She has picked up 1 for 9 from her 3 overs. And Stephanie Taylor is on 41 from 43 balls. And she's driving in the air, dropping just in front of the fielder coming in from the cover. She was looking for the dry. The ball probably didn't come to as quickly as she anticipated. It went in the air, and Millington coming in from extra cover, dropping just in front of her.
Yeah, you see her rehearsing probably the better option in terms of using the feet, because the length of the ball, it wasn't there for that drive. Really had to push out in front of her body, and that's why it just ballooned into the air there. We saw her rehearsing at the other end, just using the feet, looking to hit it inside out over cover. Had she done that, it certainly would have probably been a better option for her.
So McLean faces up to Monisa, wide outside the off stump. From the outer portion, you go down towards the back of the point area for 4. It was outside the off stump, but McLean went after it. 4 runs to Jamaica.
Yeah, that's what they want, that momentum to get kicking. I mentioned the fact that they can take a bit more risk. That time, though, they were helped by the line of that delivery from Munasar, quite wide of the off stump. Just needed to throw the hands at that one, Natasha McLean, and she's going to enjoy that. That is what they want to head into this final session, or rather the final 5 of this game.
75 for 2. Flatter faster, down towards some backward point. Where Mango is in the way she feels. No chance for run, so they're hoping to see some fireworks in the last few overs. And McLean is a clean hitter of the ball. Monisa would want to prevent that. On the pitch, and she's looking to swing into the onside, missed it, taken on a pad. I thought she was deceived. She was coming down the pitch looking to drive, and she got herself in a tangle.
Yeah, much better delivery from Munasar, and that's probably where she wants to be, given the protection that she has. If she continues to be flat and fast outside of that off stump, just need to get back onto it for some runs. Much better again from her there. Just being a lot straighter is going to force Natasha McLean to hit towards not necessarily the bigger side of the ground, but the better protected side of the ground with the deep mid wicket in operation, the long on as well.
So 1 delivery remaining in over number 16. Down the pitch, and she's looking to swing into the onside, came off the pad. And there's a slight collision between the batter and a little byplay as well to bring up the end of over number 16, 75 for 2, Jamaica.
Yeah, the pair of the skipper Shemaine Campbell finding herself in a bit of a tangle with Natasha McLean. Probably call that one the rumba or the tango, a bit of a dance from them, but no love lost between them. As we see the flag of St. Kitts and Nevis fluttering there in the wind, and the flag of Guyana once again flying at half-mast in terms of just paying that respect to the families that would have lost their loved ones in that fire quite recently, and once again just sending condolences to all of them.
So it's indeed a sad situation over there in Guyana. And Millington has come back into the attack. She'll be bowling to Stephanie Taylor. He's in 42 from 44. Swinging to the onside. We go over the boundary for 6.
Yeah.
Ball on the off stump, centre off, and he swung it over mid-wicket for 6 runs.
Yeah, we call that one high and by from the skipper, Stephanie Taylor. Got the length that she wanted to play that particular sweep shot. It's going to be a different proposition here for Plafiana Millington. She bowled at the start of the innings. Batters were a little more tentative here now with the platform set, able to swing through. Certainly going to have to bowl a different length here in the back end of this one. The skipper, Shemaine Campbell, just asking deep mid-wicket to come a bit more to the left into the region than that one was played.
Taylor looking to guide down to third man. Taken behind by the keeper. So Taylor with at 6. She has gone on to 48. So just 2 short of a half century. And she has played a good innings. Inside the stumps, looking to swing into the onside, taking on the pad. Question asks of umpire Tuckett. Leg by has been signaled. And Taylor looking to get cheeky, looking to get inside the stump to get it down towards fine leg. Missed it. And a leg by.
Yeah, that one looked pretty close, but umpire called Tuckett, judging that it was probably sliding down leg on that particular occasion.
McLean, who is on 7 from 11 deliveries, faces up to down the wicket and swinging over mid-wicket for 6. And the big hit in McLean came down the strip and hit it straight and high over mid-wicket, 6 runs.
Well, this is what we expected. This is what we've come to see, and this is what we're certainly going to enjoy here in the T20 Blaze. Coming down the wicket, dancing to the right tune there, Natasha McLean, and the only word to say that one is wow.
So with that 6, the total has gone on to 88. Down the strip and driving down to long off. We get an easy single. So the happy hours that started, a bit of a fumble, thinking about a second. And not the return not collected cleanly by the bowler. And Taylor thinking about an extra run. So the total has gone on to 89.
This is certainly where Guyana need to keep it together here. Now, they had a couple fumbles at the start. Paid small prices for them, but they're probably going to pay a bit more here in the back end with Jamaica going after everything now.
Taylor looking to swing to the outside, taking the pad is out. This time she came across the stump, just looking to clear fine leg. She missed it, struck on the pad, and Taylor has been out. LBW to Millington for 48.
Well, that's the breakthrough that Guyana wanted. 17 ball, it's 89 for 3. But a good knock by the skipper, Savannah Taylor, comes to an end. Once again, looking to just take advantage of the field that was set. Square leg inside of the 30-yard circle. Fine leg inside as well. Just looking to get some bat onto it, but got too far inside. And Carl Tuckett judging that she was plumb in front. A well played 48 from her. And you would have to say that she's done the job that her side wanted from her. Probably would have wanted to get to that half-century mark, but in the back of her mind, she would also want to have been there at the end of the 20 as well. But outstrides Shadeen Nation to continue the work of her skipper.
So with 18 deliveries remaining in the innings, the Jamaicans will looking to get 25-30 runs, and that will give them a good total. Guyana would want to restrict that. Captain Campbell making some adjustment, asking the fielder down on the cover boundary to just move across to a right. So the big hit in McLean, there's a long on, there's a mid wicket on the boundary. There's long off has been asked to go back on the boundary. Flatter, faster down the strip. And so McLean was looking to give the bowler the charge. And that's Grimmond, who has come back into the attack from the far end.
Yeah, given a change of ends here. Plafiana Millington operated from this media center end with 2 overs.
McLean swinging to the onside. We get a single. Fielder down on the boundary. Collects. Looks like the vice captain Gajnabi. 1 more to the total. It has gone on to 90 in over number 18.
That's a center.
So Nation will be facing a first delivery to Grimmon. So for Nation, the backward square has been installed. The fielder from the short third man has come now towards the short backward square area. So on the offside, you have a cover on the boundary. Long off has been brought into mid off, and mid on has been sent back on the long on fence. So it's Grimmon from the far end. Nation is coming forward, leaving the bat in the air, but we get a single as the fielder coming in from extra cover. Can I stop it? That's Millington. 1 more to the total. Takes it on to 91.
Yeah, you certainly want Natasha McLean to be facing the majority of the deliveries, especially from these spinners here in the back end of this one. She's certainly the one that could get it big. But is it far enough? No, it's not, but it also falls short of Casey Schultz on the boundary. And they get 3 because of it. A lot of space on that leg side for her.
So it was a big shot from McLean. She didn't get hold of it as I'm sure she would have wanted. And she was able to get 3 runs in the end. So those 3 runs take the total to 94. In over number 18. Nation is looking to drive, misses, taken by the keeper. Another looped up delivery. And Nation missed it. So Jamaica getting close to the 100 mark. A good total. Projected score from here on in 105. They're looking to get to at least 110. Nation pushed it into the onside. And to bring up the end of over number 18, it is 94 for 3 Jamaica.
Yeah, with 12 balls left, probably looking at double long on that. Get 24, probably even 30. And that's probably what Jamaica would want. That would probably be the end that they're looking for. They can definitely get that with the likes of the hard-hitting Natasha McLean on strike, facing up to Millington, who's going to bowl her final over of this match. And you can probably tell yourself that it'll be all guns blazing here from McLean.
Yes, so she has made of her intention clear. That's McLean, that she would go after the Guyanese bowlers. She's 18 from 16, and Millington bowling a final over from this immediate center end. Outside the off stump goes down to short third man, where Fraser running back from back with the point picks up and sends it to the keeper. 1 more to the total. And Nation will come into strike.
Off stump, yeah.
And she would want to continue the attack in this, the penultimate over of the Jamaican innings. They are 95 for 3. Millington to bowl to Nation. Nation is driving nicely. We get a single as Gaman on the long offense. She feels 1 more to the total. The big hit, hard hitting McLean, who is on 19 from 17, has come into strike. There's a mid wicket on the fence. There's a backward square on the fence as well as Millington. And they're looking to swing into the onside, gets it bouncing down to short fine leg for an easy single. And the Guyanese will be happy that just a single from that shot. And with that single, total has gone on to 97.
Yeah, definitely happy with the 3 singles that have gotten out of the over so far. If it's just a single ball from here out end, they would definitely take that, especially given the position that Jamaica are in at the moment.
Millington Nation down the strip, driving back to the bowler, feels well to her own bowling. Nation seem to be a bit disappointed.
Yeah, and the only thing better than a single is a dot ball for Guyana. So a quiet over here in the penultimate one. Just 3 runs from it. 2 balls left.
So Millington to Nation. Nation is down the strip and driving. We get a single as the fielder Grimmon moved across to a right at long off. Nation thinking about a second, but the return came in quickly. 1 more to the total. It's
girls. Come on,
To
girls. Let's fight
98
hard to the end,
with
girls.
one
Come on,
delivery
girls.
remaining over number 19.
Yeah, does Natasha McLean go after this one, or does she ensure that she's on strike for the first ball of the final over? I guess we'll see now.
Down the second drive in, came from the inner portion down towards back of the square. She was thinking about the big shot, but she got a single, and that would result in a run for Jamaica to bring up the end of over number 19, 99 for 3, Jamaica.
Well, in terms of Jamaica, if there's one person that you want on strike for the first ball of the last 6, it would be Natasha McLean, and I was wondering who they might turn to for that final over, and in fact it's going to be Sherry-Ann Fraser. So pace on the ball here for Guyana, and you sometimes tell yourself that pace on means that the ball can fly in different directions. What it could also mean, though, it could probably rush the batters here. Certainly going to be an interesting last 6 here in this first match of this triple header, round number 4 of the CWA Women's T20 Blaze.
Yes, and you said that Jamaica would want to have McLean on strike, and Guyana would want to have Fraser bowling the last over as well, because her first spell was quite nippy. As you indicated, if the ball, the faster you bowl, the ball can go flying over the fence. But based on how she would have bowled her first spell, I think is a good move by the captain of Guyana to bring Fraser back for the final over, especially against McLean.
Yeah, certainly that first 2 that she bowled went for 8, picked up 1 wicket as well. She would probably, what we would say, fractioning back of length for the majority of her deliveries, rush the batters in that way. Probably might want to maybe get a touch fuller here in this final 6, especially to McLean, who is going to be looking to that leg side. And given the field that I can see as well in terms of that long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backwards, square leg, probably full and straight, because you probably don't want to go outside the off stump as well, because the edge could go peeling off with no third man. It could be runs. Also a fine leg in operation for them as well. So full and straight probably is how I'm thinking that Sherry-Ann Fraser has been asked to bowl.
So the 4 fielders on the onside are on the boundary. It's Fraser to McLean. McLean swinging over mid-wicket for 6 runs. She was outside the off stump, but she got it well over back of the square, as a matter of fact, for 6.
Yeah, got the length round. I was saying full and straight, but she was short of what would have been that full length. And McLean was able to get under it, got all of it, and it's gone a mighty long way.
And with that 6, 100 for Jamaica coming up, 105 at the start of the 20th over. A very good start for the Jamaicans.
Yeah, certainly that puts the pressure now on to Sherry-Ann Fraser. How does she follow up here now? Will she have what is required to keep her nerves in this scenario? It could turn out to be a big over if she doesn't handle the pressure well. 5 balls to go. Well, once again, she's bowling to Natasha McLean.
McLean is driving in the
this
air,
could be the
chance for a
chance.
catch.
An easy one for the keeper. And that is the result that they wanted. A lot fuller from her on this occasion. And McLean, she played well, but she's got to go.
And pace off as well. The pace wasn't there. She was into the shot a bit too early. And the keeper calling from early on that she will settle on her. She took the catch. And McLean has been dismissed for 27. Jamaica 105 now for 4 wickets.
Yeah, maybe slightly, I would say, judging from it in terms of where that ball pitched, just maybe it could have paid the ultimate price if McLean was looking to hit the ball a lot straighter, because it was just, once again, just fractionally short of what you might consider to be that Yorker length delivery. But it is worked out for her. Good smarts in terms of also going for the change-up of pace from her. An easy catch, you would have to say, for Shemaine Campbell. And that is exactly what you want in the final over, to break the momentum of Jamaica. A good comeback from her. And it's now Shireen Burnett that will have to come and face the music for Jamaica.
105 it is for 4. 2 deliveries remaining in the last over. Burnett getting a delivery bold. Wide delivery, looking to swing it into the onside, came from the inner portion onto the stumps, and 2-2 for Guyana.
Yeah, more importantly, a dot ball as well for them. Once again, though, going full from Sherry-Ann Fraser. Gets the inner portion of the bat, and a result that they would enjoy. Yes, a wicket, but more importantly, a dot ball for them. And once again, that momentum that Jamaica was able to get Well, that's slowly shifting in the direction of Guyana with just 3 deliveries left. 105 for 5 they are.
So the new batter is Waysam. So 3 deliveries. And Jamaica will be hoping to get at least maybe 6-7 runs from these final 3 deliveries. The bowler Fraser will be looking to get the hat trick. He has picked up 2 in 2.
Yep, hat-trick delivery to Nisha and Waysam. Could this be it for her?
Right up, but Waysam is to the measure of it and gets it down to mid-off for a single. And that will bring Shadeen Nation, who is on 3 into strike, to have 2 deliveries, 106. 2 deliveries remaining in over number 20.
Yeah, that's the length that I was talking about. Hitting it bang on there with that Yorker length delivery. Fantastic over so far from Sherry-Ann Fraser, subtracting that first ball that she missed her length. But since then, she's really hit the straps and done well to close things out for Guyana.
So Nation is driving from the inner portion, goes so quickly for the first run, thinking about the second. The return comes in towards the bowlers and chance to run out. She is out by a distance. Waysam was a bit slow in getting back for the second run. And Jamaica losing another wicket. 107 it is.
Yeah, you certainly understand it there. Looking to get every run on offer. They had to go back for the 2 there. However, a wonderful throw from the boundary from Schultz there. And cleaning up the work with Sherry-Ann Fraser. As we see once again, a powerful throw. And good work from Sherry-Ann Fraser to complete it in terms of getting that run out for Guyana. And I mentioned that momentum factor. Jamaica had it coming into this final over. Guyana have now, as you can almost say, arrested it almost. This match now being pulled back to almost the even Stevens for them. But more importantly, though, this over from Sherry-Ann Fraser, absolutely fantastic. I mentioned in terms of could she keep her nerve, especially after being dispatched for a 6 in that first ball, and she certainly has come to the party for Guyana. They could not ask for anything better here from her. To close it out, 1 delivery left for Shadeen Nation to face.
Short and wide has been signaled, and Fraser seemed to be a bit surprised and disappointed that the wide has been called.
Yeah, going for the change-up almost in terms of the length that she was bowling before. Probably trying not to be too predictable because I certainly thought that she was probably going full and straight to close it out there. Went for a slower ball bouncer, almost beat the batter in terms of the pace, but the outstretched arms of the umpire mean she's got to go back to her mark and bowl just 1 more.
So the final delivery in over number 20, Fraser. To Nation driving in the air, we've got a single down to cover where Millington Fields to bring up the end of the 20th over, and Jamaica closing on 109 for 6 after 20.
Yeah, hard length to close things out, but certainly fantastic work from Sherry-Ann Fraser in that final over. You certainly couldn't ask for anything better if you were Shemaine Campbell, with the skipper for Guyana. Having lost the toss and being asked to bowl first, they probably would accept 109. 110 needed to win for them. They're batting. Captain Shemaine Campbell, she looked like a woman on a mission in the last game. She'll be hoping that form continues for her. There's also Shabika Gajnabi in there as well, and a couple more at the top of the order who are amongst some of the leading run scorers in this tournament. They'll be hoping that clicks for them. So 110 when we come back is the total for Guyana and this CWA Women's T20 Blaze.
Welcome back to Warner Park, where Jamaica won the toss and decided to bat first, and they reached up to 109 runs for the loss of 6 wickets. Top scoring for Jamaica, Taylor 48, and then McLean got 27 runs. 109 for the loss of 6 wickets. We've seen teams defend scores like this. What are we in for, Joel?
We've certainly seen teams defend scores like this, but I've started to see some intent. I've started to see a bit better in terms of the batting performances coming on as we've gone through the rounds. So in round number 4, I'm not saying just yet that this 109 is a winning total, especially given that I know that Guyana, I say, is a team that you can almost say has new life coming into the back end of this innings. They're probably going to start with one of their players who is in the top run scorers so far for this tournament with 71 runs, and that is Katana Mentore, and she's up there in the top 5 for this tournament. She'll be hoping that her form that she had across the 3 rounds before this can come back and be at the fore here. I mentioned the fact that the captain, Shemaine Campbell, as well, looked quite good at the crease in the last match, and you saw the intent from her. She was playing the ball nicely. I talked to her after the game, and she said that her head is a lot clearer. She's in a by far better mind space, so she's telling herself that maybe the momentum is going her way as well, and she's thinking it's going the way of Guyana also. So 109 certainly is a good total to have on the board, but I also do think that Guyana are more than capable of getting this one. It will take good batting from them to get over the line. It will take good bowling, a good feeling for Jamaica to restrict them. So all in all, we're in for another fantastic contest here.
And it's right arm over.
And so we're almost ready to get going. Watts is the bowler. Shinetta Grimond will be taking first strike, and Mentor is her partner. Jamaica, 109 already on the board. Grimond is taking strike. And for this delivery, she's getting it off the outer portion of the bat. And they'll have a single because it was not fielded cleanly. They're on the way.
Yeah, on the way, but probably not confidently. And this is certainly what Guyana must look out for, run-outs. They've probably been the team with the most run-outs across the Super 50 and here in a T20 blaze as well. And that is really what has kind of been counteracting or counterproductive in terms of their ability to get totals here in the T20 blaze at key moments, having run-outs. So communication, if they can get that right, I also think that they might come out on top.
Watts to bowl to Mentor, and she's driving on the offside, no runs. You made a very good observation off camera. This is in fact practically a semi-final. Teams locked on 8 points. Here is a delivery which is driven on the offside. Bowler knocks it down and retrieves, no runs.
Yeah, definitely shaping up to be an unofficial semi-final, this encounter, and then the one that will play as the 7 o'clock game as well, Barbados.
Here is Mentor driving firmly into the offside, misfield, and then Watts is not happy at all. She wanted a little bit more speed to the ball, but both batters are off the mark. They're on 1, and it's 2 without loss. 2 deliveries left in the over. Watts bowls to Grimond. This one is played nicely down to backward square for 4. Just drifting a little bit into the pads. And she was quickly onto it, was Grimond. And backward square is short. And so there was no chance of cutting this off. First boundary for the inning, 6 for no loss, Guyana.
Yeah, that will get the confidence going for Grimond, and Guyana just capitalizing on one that was just back of a length. Probably wasn't the shortest of deliveries, but really in terms of her execution of balance there from Shinetta Grimond, moving quite quickly, manipulating the field and collecting a boundary.
Here is Watts once more to Grimond. Gets a good delivery, defends nicely, end of 1. And the score is 6 for no loss. Guyana looking for 110 to win.
Yeah, good start for them, 6 for Guyana. They will enjoy that. They would like that. That's the type of start that they would want. Obviously, with just 2 fielders outside of the 30-yard circle, will want to maybe capitalize on that as well to get their innings going. Do a lot of what we consider the hard yards quite early in terms of the pursuit of this total.
Selena White will pick up the attack from the far end. And she'll be coming in to bowl to mentor.
Looking to go with a bit of pace and spin Jamaica at the top of this one. Looking for wickets, and they've employed a slip.
And this one is played into the onside. The hands go up, and that's because it came from the pad. It lobbed away into the onside short. And very alert who were the Guyanese. They raced through for a leg by. And so the score moves to 7 for no loss.
Middle, please. Sorry. That's it. Thank you.
Grimmond is now on strike.
5 to come.
White is on her way to bowl to Grimmond, and she's playing this into the offside, wide of the fielder at backward point, and so they'll have a single. And the score moves to 8. Mentor moves to 2 from her 5 deliveries. Other games today, the Leewards will play Trinidad and Tobago at 2:30. And Barbados will play the Windwards at 7 p.m. Here is White, and this delivery, she's turning into the onside. Again, they are very alert, very aware of the possibility of a single. Run through quickly, and that's run number 9. And so Guyana will know that they are just 101 away.
Yeah, the difference so far for this pair and for Guyana on a whole is that there's been a positive early call and a response from the non-striker as well. Good rotation of the strike from them.
And Grimmond is driving, not moving up feet, not getting to the pitch of it. Comes from the inner portion of the bat onto her pads. No runs. 9 for no loss.
You say driving, but I think the rehearsed shot was the drive, and the initial shot was somewhat more of a swing from her. Probably knowing that she needs probably just to get that bat a bit straighter going down the ground.
White to Grimmond, hit in the air, chance of the first wicket taken. Not moving her feet, not getting to the pitch of the ball, drove it straight down to mid-off, did Grimmond. And so wicket number 1 for Jamaica. It's 9 for the loss of 1.
An early strike for them, a good positive move here for Jamaica, looking to take advantage of the fact that mid-off was up in the circle. Couldn't get the elevation though, Shanetta Grimmond, and offering what is a regulation catch, a very easy catch. And she's got to go back. She goes for 6. It's 9 for 1.
And so Jamaica doing exactly what they wanted, getting an early strike. And they know that if they can pick up the 10 wickets with the runs less than 110, that they will win. They also know that if they bowl their 20 and restrict the runs to less than 110, that they will win.
Well, this is going to be a key moment here, and I say that because Shabika Gajnabi strode out to the crease, and I've certainly enjoyed watching her bat across this T20 Blaze and also the Super 50, just in terms of how she looks when she comes to the crease, how positive she looks to go about it as well.
White to bowl to Gajnabi, and she's behind it, plays it gently down into the onside. That's good running, Joel. They were quickly through for a single, and the score goes on to 10 for the loss of 1. Some of the fielders are not too happy, but that was excellent calling, excellent running.
Yeah, well-weighted shot there from Shabika Gajnabi, just taking all the pace off of it, dropping it into the offside, recognizing the chance for a single to get off of the mark.
Overs completed.
Yeah, that is middle.
Watts, who was the
right arm
successful wicket taker, she has picked up 1 for 6. And she's at the top of her mark. Will bowl to Gajnabi.
Yeah, long on, quite wide for Gajnabi.
This one is played into the offside, finds backward point, no runs.
There's also a deep mid wicket, so those are two fielders outside of the circle for this over from Watts at the moment. The wicket of Gajnabi will certainly be key for Jamaican defence of this total.
Short, played into the offside, finds cover, no runs. Vanessa Watts it is, who is bowling from the media centre end. Goes past umpire Carl Tuckett, and this one is cramping her for space. And she jams down on it firmly, plays it down the track on the offside, and Watts fields to her own bowling. So Jamaica reached 109 for the loss of 6. Watts to bowl to Gajnabi, who is using her feet nicely but can only find the mid-wicket. She's moving smartly to her left, no runs.
I think the key here for Gajnabi is probably just not to overthink this situation. I mentioned Shemaine Campbell, and I see now the adjustment being made by the skipper, asking long on to just come a bit straight, and I thought maybe that should have been done from the start of the over. But I remember Shemaine Campbell, as I mentioned, batting with a clear mind. And I think that is probably what is required here for Gajnabi as well. A player who enjoys being busy, going after the ball, and so far she's been kept quiet. And that is okay. In a T20 match, a bowler's allowed to bowl well, allowed to bowl dot balls, just hoping she doesn't burn up at the crease and plays a false shot.
Last delivery of the over, and she's back, playing it into the offside. Again goes chasing out of the crease. There is no run there, 3 completed. And at the end of 3, it's 10 for the loss of 1. Guyana trying to get 110 to win.
Yeah, fantastic over there. Made an over for Vanessa Watts, keeping things tight, as I mentioned, keeping Gajnabi thinking, because she switched up her lengths as well quite nicely and it over, slightly varied her pace also, and especially for a batter like Gajnabi, who enjoys getting after the ball, enjoys putting pressure on the bowler. You just wonder what it might do, and as I mentioned, I'm hoping that it's not a case of she burns up and plays a false shot and gives away her wicket, because there's still a lot of deliveries left here, a lot of time for Guyana to get over the line, and they're going to need her to be out there for a lot of that time.
White is bowling a delivery which is stroked into the offside by Mentor. Finds extra cover, no runs. And I think I said Watts was the successful wicket taker. My apologies. White is in fact the successful wicket taker. From the far end, comes up now, and this delivery is tugged into the onside. No timing, no placement, and there are no runs.
Yeah, a little similar to how things were going at the start for Jamaica as well. Just going with a lot of that bottom hand, going a lot of power and sacrificing the timing here at the moment. And this could be wicket number 2, an easy chance for the captain. She accepts it gleefully.
Short delivery, and she was back trying to pull it into the onside, took the top portion of the bat and skied to the captain, Stephanie Taylor, who came racing in, and they all gleeful, the Jamaicans, because not only have they been able to string some dot balls together, this evidenced by a maiden over the last over, but they've been very successful in picking up wickets. 2 back now, and you would say in the early goings that the Jamaicans would be feeling happy.
Yeah, they're certainly the happier of the two sides, and that little stir-fry dance that we got from Selena White on camera as well is signs of that. Need to keep going though, need to make further inroads, because out comes the captain, Shemaine Campbell. I mentioned that momentum that she had from that previous match, the fact that she's been saying that she has a clear mind at the moment and really wants to put out those performances. So another key wicket for them here. This pair here of Gajnabi and Shemaine Campbell, probably the most important pair that Guyana have at the moment.
White, 2 wickets to her name to bowl to Campbell, who stays it into the offside, finds backward point, no runs.
Yeah, if any time you want your captain to show up and to raise their hand, it is here. Points on offer, a championship on offer as well. 4 teams really in the hunt for that one, and 2 of them on display here in the morning sunshine of St. Kitts and Nevis.
White to bowl to Campbell, who is defending into the offside. Again, no runs. So 4 deliveries in the over, and importantly, a wicket in the over, and more than that, no runs scored yet. Actually, 5 deliveries gone in the over. White from the far end to bowl to Campbell, who lets it go outside the off stump. Maiden over, 2 consecutive maiden overs and a wicket. And so you would say that Jamaica would be feeling good in their defense of 109.
Yeah, fantastic 6 balls there from Selena White, following up on the job that was done by Vanessa Watts with the maiden over. It looks like we're going to have a change in bowling, but just looking at the approach of Shemaine Campbell, it looks as if she's just given herself some time to settle, leaving alone that last delivery outside the off stump, getting behind the balls, just playing them down.
Change, right arm over.
It's going to be Wasom to bowl now. Anisha Ann Wasom. Pace coming from this media center end. So ringing the changes here. The skipper not allowing them to get accustomed to what's on offer. In hunt for another wicket, Jamaica, defending champions. Would love to get another W in that column. Put some separation between themselves and the other teams.
Start of over number 5. Kajnabi is on strike to Wasom. And for this delivery, it's down the leg side, and it's played down to long leg. That's a single. And so Kajnabi will move to 2, and the score moves on to 11 for the loss of 2 in over number 5.
It's really just a case of setting yourself up if you are Guyana, not getting overhauled by the occasion, but giving yourself that chance, especially coming on to the back end of this inning. So it's really about just setting up that platform. Funny enough, a platform similar to what Jamaica were able to get in their first innings.
Full toss, driven firmly, but mid-on is in the way. No runs.
Yeah, just telling myself anywhere probably around that 60 mark coming on to the last 5, 70 coming on to the last 5. They'll be happy with that. And it's a case of looking at 11 for 2. You're telling yourself probably not the best of starts from them in this power play, but a lot of time in terms of getting to that 15 over mark. So what is required from them? Capitalizing on the bad balls, good rotation of strike just to set up that platform to get within striking distance of that 110 that they require.
Delivery, which is pulled into the onside, finds long leg in the way. They'll have another single. And Campbell gets off the mark. She goes on to 1. It's 12 for the loss of 2. And we're in over number 5.
Yeah, those middle overs especially will also become important when the field restrictions become relaxed. How do they continue to get runs into that phase? But as I mentioned, these 2 certainly the best for Guyana at the moment to be out there.
As Wasom goes wide of the crease, this one is played off the outer portion of the bat, finds third man in the way, and there'll be a single to Gajnabi to take on to 13 for 2, and we're in the 5th over. Remember, Jamaica are defending 109. Slippers come out, has gone to straight mid-wicket, and the fielder from straight mid-wicket has gone to forward of square. As it's Campbell on strike, and for this delivery from Wasom, it's a full toss, and it's driven down to backward square for 4. And just a loosener there from Wasom, and a very attacking opportunity given. And so Charmaine Campbell took the opportunity and brought up a 4 to take the score into 17 for the loss of 2.
Yeah, it's neither her birthday or Christmas Day, but she'll take that gift. Full toss there from Nisha Ann Wasom. Just needed to get back onto it. A lot of work to be done by fine leg, who couldn't get around to that one.
Wasom again to bowl to Campbell, who is back, turns it into the onside. There is no chance of a run. End of the over, 5 gone. And it's 17 for the loss of 2. Say good afternoon to Gary Pemberton.
Good afternoon to you, Carla. Good afternoon to listeners. So the Jamaicans would have, well, it's not yet quite afternoon. It's minutes to 12, so it's good day, good morning. But the Jamaicans, they have started well. They would have gotten 2 wickets, and we would say that White actually bounced out the second batter for the Guyanese.
Yes, she did. And she has picked up 2 wickets. And her figures make good reading. 2 for 3 from 2. Here is a delivery, which is wide of the off stump. And it's called and signaled wide. So another run to Guyana, 18 for the loss of 2. And we're in the last over of the power play. White. And here is Gajnabi defending. Plays it back down the track, and White fields on a follow through. Now the slip has come out for White as well. And so she's going to mid wicket, and mid wicket has gone to just forward of square. So Jamaica not giving up anything at all. Here's a delivery which is played into the offside, soft hands, and they're through quickly for a single. That's good running. And so the score will move on to 19 for the loss of 2.
Good communication. That was just eye contact between the captain and the vice captain. They were able to get that single. So you want to keep the communication line going very well.
Campbell is on 5. And for this delivery, she's leaving it alone, allows it to go through to the keeper. No runs, still 19 for 2. And we're in over number 6.
Some anxiety there for the batter Campbell, because I'm sure Selena White was hoping that that one would have come back some more from outside the off stump. It was a bit close, and she shoulders arm and just beat the off stump.
Here is White once more, and this one she's taken on the pad. Loud shout goes up, and the umpire says no. Can they still aboard at the far end? She just holds up a hand to signal to Carl Tuckett at square leg that there are 2 deliveries left in the over. And so the score will remain at 19 for 2. Guyana need another 91 runs to win. Balls are at 86. As Campbell settles once more, she's on 5 from her 9 deliveries faced. And for this delivery from White, she's playing it into the offside, doesn't have the room to extend her arms, and she's not able to score.
I think Selena White has been having a good tournament for Jamaica. In the Super 50, she got some wickets. And now in the T20 Blaze, she's also amongst the wickets. She has taken thus far some 5 wickets, and this is her 4th match.
White, and for this delivery, she's playing it into the offside. Again, they get that single because they're very quickly through. And so at the end of the over, it goes to 20 for 2. Campbell goes to 6 from 10. And remember that they're looking to get to a total of 110 as we see the batter Campbell colliding with White at the far end. And Campbell is down. Probably, we hope that she's just winded, but that she'll be okay.
And you don't want to collide with somebody like White, Selena White. She's a big figure, and Campbell is not that big. She's not that, but she's down on the ground, and the medical personnel or the physiotherapists for the Guyanese team are now on the field of play. She seems to be coming up, so she should be all right. But Jamaica will be satisfied with the way things have gone. Only 3 runs coming off that last over, and Selena White has been doing an excellent job. 3 overs, 2 wickets for 6 runs.
2 singles and a wide. And so if you were to say to Jamaica that at the end of the power play, that Guyana would be 20 for 2, I'm sure they would say thank you very much.
Yes, definitely. So they need another 90 runs from 80 balls, and Jamaica would want to continue to keep the pressure on the Guyanese as we await the restart as Campbell getting some attention from the officials from the Guyanese team, the medical team, and hopefully she'll be fine. But Jamaica, as a defending champion, would want to win this game against Guyana. They came out against Barbados. I thought that they were a bit flat-footed, and Barbados batted well. They played well, and but Jamaica would want to, as the defending champion, come back and win this game here today.
At the end of the power play, Gary, the score was 21-1 Jamaica. So you could say at this stage, advantage Jamaica, because they have picked up another wicket, and Guyana 20 for the loss of 2. Still a lot of time left in the game. Another 14 overs to go. But the run rate has gone in excess of 6. They're currently scoring at 3.33 runs and over, and now require from here on in 6.43 runs and over. What that means is that for every over that you do not score 6 runs, the run rate will increase slightly.
And the pressure will mount on the batters as well. So once the Jamaica bowlers continue to keep things tight and every now and then pick up wickets, certainly you will continue to put pressure on the Guyanese. And with that required weight continue to mount, and once the bowling is tight, that required weight will continue to increase. So play will resume, and Campbell, she will resume her innings, or she will continue her innings, and Jamaica will want to continue to keep things tight and continue to pick up wickets. Waysome will continue from this immediate center end. Her first over, we saw some 7 runs coming off that over, and she will want to keep that line on the off stump. We saw a few deliveries from her in the first over, went on the onside. One of them was punished for 4, and she would want to keep that off stump line.
Fielders getting back to their respective positions.
Still right arm over.
After today, we just have 1 round of the T20 Blaze to go. That will be on Saturday, very early start, 8 o'clock in the morning. All 3 games will start.
Let's play.
Waitsome goes up now to bowl a delivery which is short down the leg side. Campbell is swinging and missing, and it goes through for a wide to take the score on to 22 for the loss of 2.
Badly lined, and Waysome would want to get back on the off stump, on the offside, and see Shadi Nation just coming across to have a quiet word with her. Just asking her to hold that off stump line. You don't want to be straining on the onside unnecessarily.
Campbell yet to get a big score, and for this delivery she's driving nicely, 2 straight, 2 good, hit the stumps at the bowler's end, and so she doesn't get any runs from that. But that is as straight drive as you could ask for.
It's a perfect straight drive, too perfect as a matter of fact. It hit the stumps at the opposite end, and resulting in the Guyanese team not getting any runs.
Waitsome again to bowl to Campbell. It's 21 for 2, and she's swinging this one into the onside, challenging run for the fielder from backward square, and she doesn't get there. It goes across the line for 4, just drifting a little bit into the legs there of Campbell, and she made very good use of that, picks up a boundary and takes the score now on to 25 it is for the loss of 2.
Good shot, but you want to keep your eyes on Selena White as she was chasing around to her left. She kind of pulled up and was flexing her left ankle. So let us hope that she will be okay, because she's an important player for the Jamaican team. She has done very well so far. She has picked up some 2 wickets.
Campbell has moved on to 10 from 13. Here is Waitsome, and she's driving, peeling off the outer portion of the bat. Will go down to 3rd man as the fielder comes off the boundary. They have crossed for a single, and so Campbell will move to 11, and it's now on to 26 for the loss of 2. We're in over number 7.
Big drive from Campbell, outer portion. She was looking to play it more in the offside, like through extra cover, but that one peeled off on the outer edge, and she was able to get a single.
6 runs in the over so far. Waitsome, and she's giving herself a lot of room there. Is Gajnabi, plays it into the offside, finds cover, no runs. Signaled her intention very early, Gary.
Backing her way outside the leg stump, and She was looking to pace the offside, but he got it straight down to Captain Taylor.
Away some turns below us and goes away now to bowl to Gajnabi. And for this delivery, she's turning it into the onside, running very quickly for the single. Fielder comes off the mid-wicket boundary and restricts it to 1. And so she moves to 5 Gajnabi. It's 28 for the loss of 2.
7 runs have come thus far in the over, so the Guyanese are up. They have been keeping up with the required rate in this over. They have already scored some 7 runs, so they wouldn't want to lose the wicket with the last ball of the 7th over.
And it's Campbell on strike. And for this delivery, it's in her legs. She's trying to play it away into the onside. And they go chasing through for a single. The running has been good so far in this inning. Campbell moves on now to 12 from her 15. And it's 7 overs completed. It's 28 for the loss of 2.
Good over for Guyana, 8 runs. And I'm sure we will see a bowling change from the media center end, because Waysam has been offline. Her first over, some 7 runs came, and the second over, 8. So I'm sure that Captain Taylor will be making a change from this media center end. And it also seems as though there might be a change at the far end as well. Looks like Nicole Campbell will be coming into the attack from the far end. So Waysam 2 overs have not been too good.
No, she has gone for 15 from her 2 overs, and the captain wouldn't be too excited about that. Guyana still need another 82 runs to win. Current run rate is at 4, and the run rate required is at 6.31.
Nicole, me and you, right? Me and you. Watch my glove, watch my glove. Watch my glove. Yeah. Go so little. Yeah.
So Nicole Campbell will be bowling to Charmaine Campbell. And for this delivery, she's getting a short one, back and tugging it firmly down to the fielder at long on. They'll get a single. And so the score will move on now to 29 for 2. Guyana with the captain and the vice captain at the crease. Charmaine Campbell, of course, being the captain, and Gajnabi the vice captain. Gajnabi is on strike and facing up to Nicole Campbell. And for this delivery, she is back, delays it nicely, gets it down to mid-on. The fielder chases off the long-on boundary. They'll have a single, and she'll move to 5, Gajnabi. And the score now to 29 for 2. Campbell on strike. And for this delivery, it's short. She's playing firmly into the offside, down across the cover boundary for 4. She timed it well, placed it well, and even though there was a fielder on the cover boundary, a little square at cover, she was able to get it wide of that fielder and picked up an important 4 runs for Guyana.
Good shot. It was short and wide outside the off stump, and the captain Sherman Campbell made full use of it. So they have gotten some 6 runs already from the first 3 deliveries of the first over from Nicole Campbell.
As Campbell bowls again, and this delivery is pitch outside the leg stump, called and signaled wide, and so it continues to be an expensive over here for the Jamaicans. Sherman Campbell is on strike. She's on 12 from 15, and Nicole Campbell is not having her best first over. For this delivery, it's shorter, played into the offside, and goes down to the fielder at extra cover, goes back pedaling, knocks it down, no runs.
Dig deep, ladies, dig deep, come on.
34 for 2. As we see Nicole Campbell bowling to Charmaine Campbell, short, and played again into the offside firmly, finds the fielder at extra cover. The placement was not good. Yes. And so no runs resulted.
She was fortunate to get away with that. Was short and wide and should have been punished by Campbell.
Come on.
Campbell again. And for this delivery to Campbell, she's playing it away into the offside. No runs, end of the over. And so 8 overs completed now. And the score is showing a 34 for the loss of 2.
A better delivery to complete over number 8. But the Guyanese will be happy with the last couple of overs. They've been scoring in excess of the required rate. So once they continue to score at that rate, they should be able to challenge the total given to them by Jamaica. So the captain and the vice captain of Guyana team having a word and trying to encourage each other. And so Guyana, after 8, they're 35 for 2, looking to score 110.
And we see another change as called by you, Gary. We notice that we're going to see another fast bowler who will be bowling from the media center end. And that's Burnett. Number 25 on her back. And the Jamaicans have now dispensed with the slip, and they've spread the field a little bit as Burnett bowls to Gashnabi, who is getting one on the leg side, works it into just the backward square position. She's interested in 2 is Gashnabi, but Campbell says no, 1 it is. And so the score moves to 36 for 2.
Well, the intent was good. She played it into the onside, and they came too quickly for the first run. But Waysome came in quickly enough off the boundary and had a strong return to the keeper to prevent the possibility of a second run.
Burnett will now bowl to Campbell. And for this delivery shot, pulled into the onside, finds the fielder coming off the boundary. She bobbles it, gives the opportunity for 2, and that's seized by Guyana. And so 2 runs to take the score to 38 for 2. And so a little bit of a fumble on the boundary. And the captain is saying, I'll have none of that. You'll come to the infield where you have protection. And she sends another fielder to replace her out on the boundary.
So Wilmot has replaced Waysome, who will now come on the offside. He fumbled on the boundary and were able to get a second run. So let us see what will happen if the ball goes through the offside down to mid-off to Waysome. And she doesn't feel it.
Burnett again, and this delivery is again short, pulled into the onside. Immediately the fielder who has been changed comes into play, and she's around nicely, collects it, single, and that will take Campbell on to 20 from her 22, and it's 39 for 2, and we're in over number 9. 4 runs in the over so far, as Burnett bowls to Gashnabi, who is using her feet, gets a wide delivery, and that will be bonus runs for Guyana because it goes across the boundary for 4 wides. And so you add another 5 to the score. That's 44 for the loss of 2. And the momentum has been picked up a bit here by Guyana, Gary.
Yes, the last few overs, the Guyanese have been scoring in excess of 7 runs per over, and with those 5 extras, the total number of runs for that over will now be 9. So the Guyanese, without doing much, have been able to get up to 7-8 runs per over. And that first over from Burnett, not doing much better than Waysome, who was bowling from this media center end.
Burnett again bowls the full toss. That's going to be called and signaled no ball. It's pulled down to the fielder coming off the long on boundary. And Gashnabi is not excited that she didn't do better with that. But there will be 2 additional runs. It's 46 for the loss of 2. And this partnership is already on to 36.
But things have gone from bad to worse for Burnett. A wide that went for 4. And now a no ball, which will result in a free hit.
37, in fact, the partnership. As the free hit delivery comes up, it's short, tucked into the onside. And they'll just get a single because the fielder is coming off the long on boundary. And so the score will move on to 48 for the loss of 2. And there are 2 deliveries left in over number 9. Remember, Guyana are looking for 110 to win. Current run rate is at 5.54, and they're looking at 5.47. 62 required in 68. Here is she coming down the track, Gajnabi, and guides it down to third man where she'll have a single. And so the score moves on now to 49 for the loss of 2. And Campbell goes on to 21. Gajnabi is on 10. And 1 delivery left in the over. An 11-run over so far, Gary. Here is Burnett. Delivery which is short, pulled into the onside. They have crossed for a single. It's fielded cleanly. And so at the end of over number 9, Guyana have brought up their 50. They have 50 for the loss of 2 wickets. Campbell is on 21 and Gajnabi is on 11.
A big over there for the Guyanese, so they continue to score well. And that was not a very good over there by Burnett. Some 15 runs coming off that over, which included a wide that went for 4 and above the waist, no ball. So the Guyanese doing well, 50 for 2 after 9 overs. And I think that Jamaica, after 10 overs, they were 49 for 1. So the Guyanese are in front in terms of the run rate, because for 9 overs, they're already on 50. Jamaica got their 50 after the 10th over.
Remember, Jamaica didn't lose their second wicket until the score was 57. And even though they lost wickets in a cluster down towards the end of the inning, there was some big hitting in between. And so the Guyanese will know that if they are to keep their noses in front, they will have to keep going. The left arm spinner from the far end bowls a delivery on the leg side, which is helped around the corner for 4. Not a good start to the over. Campbell saw this one, which was full on the legs, and helped it down to the boundary at backward square and picked up 4 runs. So the score keeps moving on in favor of Guyana, and they have now brought up their 50.
So good start to the over for the Guyanese team. Poor delivery from Nicole Campbell.
And she will bowl now to Campbell, who is playing it into the offside. Backward point is quickly in. There is no chance of a run. Still 53 for the loss of 2. We're in over number 10. Charmaine Campbell is on 26. Gajnabi is on 9. And it's Nicole Campbell who is bowling from the far end. And for this delivery, it's again down the leg side and pulled just short of the fielder at backward square. White was there in the way. It fell just in front of her. And they were able to get a single to take the score on to 54 for the loss of 2. And Campbell moves on to 27.
Work, Nick, work, Nick, work, Nick.
Nicole Campbell will be bowling to Gajnabi. And for this delivery, she is playing it into the offside. Backward point is alert. She's quickly in his Taylor. And there is no chance of a run.
Work, Nick, work, Nick, work, Nick.
5 runs in the over so far. 2 deliveries left. None for 12, Nicole Campbell. Comes up to bowl to Gajnabi, and she's playing it into the offside. The bowler has to chase down to straightish, short extra cover. Can't prevent a single, and so Gajnabi moves to 10 from her 19 deliveries. Guyana 55 for 2, and Charmaine Campbell, who is on 27, comes up to take strike. Final delivery of the over. And she's bowling to Campbell down the leg side. She's swinging, comes from the under portion of the bat. They'll have a single. And so the 10th over will end with the score being 56 for the loss of 2. Campbell goes on to 28. And remember, 110 will give Guyana the victory. 10 overs completed. And in chase, they are at 56 for the loss of 2 wickets.
So good going by the 2 Guyanese batters. They're scoring at 5.60. They need another 54 runs from some 60 balls. We had some 7 runs coming off that last over. And the Guyanese are doing well, 56 for 2 in search of 110. Let's welcome back Joel Manning. The Guyanese is doing well thus far.
Yeah, this is what you just call simple cricket here from Guyana at the moment. Taking advantage of the bad deliveries, continue to rotate the strike and just apply that pressure and put the pressure back onto Jamaica, who kind of had a stranglehold on things at the start of this innings. In the last 5, they were able to go out pretty much a run a ball, getting to 56 for 2 after being 20 for 2. Over in number 5. So you would have to say, though, at the moment, still, I would say pretty much almost even Stevens, because if Jamaica were to take a wicket, able to break this partnership, and I mentioned that this probably might be the most important partnership for Guyana as well, the experience of Shemaine Campbell and Shabika Gajnabi out there. If they can break this partnership, I do believe that the game is still even Stevens for them. But for Ghana now, it's that next 5-over phase. How much can they get? And not just how much can they get, but how much can they get without losing a wicket? Because I talked about the fact in terms of setting yourself up for the back end of this inning. So at the moment, you would have to say, though, that it's still a fantastic contest. Could go either way, and probably the next 5 overs might determine how this contest swings.
And the two batters have to bear in mind that the required rate is less than a run per ball. So as the vice captain and the captain in the middle, they should be mindful of that and should be able to just try to work the ball around without any unnecessary risk. And that certainly will take them closer to the target. So with the vice captain and the vice captain in the middle, it's a good position for the Guyanese team to be in.
Yeah, no real pressure in terms of that run rate like you mentioned, but I do think that they probably need to just do, as you can probably say, the hard yards in this next 5 in terms of not necessarily only going a run a ball in terms of probably rotating the strike, etc. But similar fashion to how that last 5 went for them in terms of also picking up some boundaries, because you don't necessarily want to get to that last 5 and still need that 28 or need that 30 for them, because we've seen a couple teams lose wickets in clusters and find themselves in problems. I do think that going into that last 30, you probably just want to be 20 and less for them, and it's really just, you know, moving time almost in this phase of the game for them as we head into the second half of this innings.
So it will be Nation, who has replaced Burnett from the media center end. She'll be bowling to the captain, Campbell. Outside the off stump, she's punching it down to cover. So these two batters for Guyana. Campbell is on 28 from 29, and Ghaznavi on 10 from 19. Full, and down the pitch and driving down to long on, and a bubble by McLean, but the batters were trotting through for the first run, so couldn't capitalize on the misfield from McLean. So 1 more to the total.
Yeah, for Jamaica into this next phase, it's really just a case of how can they just start to slow down the scoring of Jamaica at the moment. Not looking as if they're hunting for the wicket. Yes, they'll take it, but certainly looking to see how they can possibly just slow down the scoring, force them to maybe take an extra chance or two. Well, a lovely drive back down the ground, and that's going to take some chasing. It finds its way into the boundary.
Lovely shot. He came down the pitch, got it on the full, and played it straight back on the strip on the onside. So the Guyanese continued to score runs, because the last 4 overs they have been scoring in excess of 7 runs per over, and though they have now gotten some 5 runs in just the first 3 deliveries.
Yeah, that also brings up the 50 partnership for this pair. Fantastic use of the feet there by Shabika Gajnabi, and that's exactly what I've been talking about in terms of not necessarily just looking for still the run a ball and milking it away, but ensuring that you still pick up those boundaries.
Into the offside, it goes to a quick single, and what's coming in from backward point cannot stop the run. So the Guyanese is doing it well. They're looking for the singles, and when the bad ball is there to be punished, they have been doing that.
Yeah, not just the bad ball, because I wouldn't necessarily say that the delivery that Shabika Gajnabi got the 4 off of was a bad ball, but just the use of the feet, the intent still being shown to just impose himself on Jamaica.
Captain Campbell looking to play it fine. Misses, taken behind by the keeper. So a total on 62 in over number 11, 1 delivery remaining. We've seen some 6 runs in this over from Nation. So the Guyanese continue to score well. Flat and wide and faster. Signal by the umpire, Tuckett. The wide delivery bad. Delivered by Nation. So the extras moves on by 1. And the total 63 for 2.
Work.
Down the pitch and pulling a full delivery. We get a single as McLean moves across to her right and feels well. And so with that single, total has gone on to 64 to bring up the end of the over after 11 overs, 64 for 2 Guyana.
Yeah, I guess so probably maybe 2 full tosses in that over did Shadeen Nation. But this is what pressure does to a side. Barbados put Jamaica under pressure with the way that they batted in the match before this, and currently Guyana putting Jamaica under pressure. The question though is, how do Jamaica respond to that pressure? You almost saw them go flat and almost lay down and die almost when they were playing Barbados. They were outplayed and outclassed, you would have to say, when Barbados batted. And at the moment it's starting to give signs almost of that here with this batting performance from Guyana, but certainly not out of it. And the question is, how did they respond to that pressure? You see the captain making several changes, and it's really just a case of who can they turn to pick up that wicket, and if not the wicket, who can they turn to keep things tight, because a couple dot balls as well in succession could maybe force that fall shot that we've seen time and time again across this tournament.
So Campbell will continue from the far end, and Sherman Campbell pushing to the offside, return down to the far end, misses the stumps, and they will come back for the second run as the fielder down on the boundary was a bit slow, and they were able to get 2 runs, but a shy at the far end, and if they had struck the stumps, the batter Campbell could have been found short.
Yeah, I do believe that she would have been found short of her ground there. Brilliant work by the captain, Stephanie Taylor, in terms of how quickly she got to the ball, how quickly she released it as well, and just centimeters off, millimeters almost even from a direct hit.
So Nicole Campbell to Sherman Campbell onto the back foot. We get another single as Nation had to move across to her left at extra cover. So they're doing it well. The scoring rate continued to be good for the Guyanese. The required rate is less than 6 runs per over. So the Jamaicans will want to try and keep things tight and maybe pick up a wicket. Stephanie Taylor, as the captain, might want to bring herself into the attack to see if she can break this partnership. Required rate 4.96. They're scoring at 5.91 runs per over. Nicole Campbell, full delivery, swung away for 4. It was a bad delivery, and the captain, Sherman Campbell, made full use of it, or that's Gajnabi, and 4 more to the total. Bad delivery, punished.
Yeah, another full toss there, and once again, just that pressure, because runs have been coming quite easily for Guyana. Another gift for Shabika Gajnabi. She's been out there for some time, and that's easy pickings for her. She'll say thank you every single day of the week.
So things seems to be falling apart for the Jamaicans. They have not been able to break this partnership. Campbell in her 3rd over. She'll be looking to break this partnership, but you have to bowl good deliveries. Bad deliveries can get wickets as well. She comes up from the far end, down the pitch, gets it on the full. I'm sure she's disappointed that she did not dispatch that. Just got it down to straightish mid-wicket. 71 for 2 in over number 12. Some 7 runs so far in the over. Required rate 4.68. Down the pitch and driving nicely. We get an easy single as McLean down at long off. 1 more to the total.
Yeah, this is certainly the type of cricket that we've been yearning to see in the CWA Women's T20 Blaze. I mentioned the fact that Guyana in the last match, they looked different, they played different, they batted differently, and we've seen that start now come again here into this round number 4.
Nicole Campbell to Charmaine Campbell. She's pushing it and will get a single. She was called through for the run by her vice captain. So good bit of running, 1 more to the total.
And what's also nice to see as well is that we've gone to this stage, 12 gone, 73 for 2. But the 2 wickets have gone down. None of the 2 of them have gone via the run-out route. And that is certainly an improvement in terms of ticking the box for Guyana up to this stage. And overall, you would say that as the coach, you would have to be happy with what you've seen bowling-wise. They did quite well, and now backing it up with the performance with the bat as well. If you are from Guyana, if you're supporting them, well, you're certainly going to be happy with what you're seeing out here on the field.
Well, as a team, you would want to be working on your weaknesses and the mistakes that you have made earlier. You would want to improve on those. And as you indicated, you have seen some improvement from the Guyanese, not only in the batting but also in the running between the wickets. So it seems as though Vanessa Watts has been brought back into the attack, and Stephanie Taylor has not yet decided to bring herself into the attack.
Yeah, just looking to get that field right. And I just wonder, even if, because they're using the maximum of 4 allowed outside, if even maybe just getting one more into the circle just to stop maybe a couple of those singles or twos could be an option for them. And another quick single for them. A chance at the stump, and oh my goodness gracious me, had it hit, that could have been another close one for the umpire to call.
We just spoke about communication and making good decisions. The ball was just pushed straight down to the captain, Stephanie Taylor, straight to mid-wicket, and they went through for the single. If the return had struck the stumps, there would have been a run-out. So Watts will continue. He's looking to play it into the offside. And no chance of a run, so 74 for 2. We're in over number 13, so the Jamaicans will want to break this partnership. They need 36.
Work, Bunny, work, Bunny, work, Bunny,
And
work, Bunny.
required rate 4.70.
Yeah, they certainly must break it to get themselves back into this contest at the moment. Everything favoring Guyana.
Gajnabi faces up to Watts.
Nandini, Nandini.
And dot ball, and he can string some more of those deliveries together. Could put some pressure on the Guyanese. We need to get wickets. We're in over number 13. Gajnabi is in behind a good delivery, so 2 dot balls, 2 good deliveries, prevent any possibility of a run. Good sunshine here at Warner Park, but there's a dark cloud down in the southwestern corner of the island on the leg stump. Then we get a single as Farron coming off the backward square fence, so 1 more to the total. So just the 2 runs so far in the over for the Guyanese. And Watts will continue. 1 delivery remaining in over number 13. She's in her 3rd, none for 8. Back looking to swing into the onside. Just got it down to straight to mid-wicket to bring up the end of 13th over, 75 for 2, Guyana.
Here we go, girls. Come on, ladies. Come on.
Corey, stay. Change, right, turn over to you.
Middle, please.
So it seems the nation has been swung around to the far end. So we have still not seen the introduction of Captain Stephanie Taylor into the attack. So it doesn't seem as though she'll be bowling in this innings. So nation will continue from the far end. Her first over saw some 8 runs. The Jamaicans in search of a breakthrough. We're seeing a good partnership between the captain and the vice captain for the Guyanese team. Gajnabi 21 from 28 and 35 from 37 to the captain, Sherman Campbell. So let us see if a change of ends will bring something for the Jamaicans. Gajnabi pushed it into the onside. Down to Watts. No chance of a run. Jamaica won the toss and opted to bat. They required rate 5.12. They're scoring at 5.70. Nation to bowl to Gajnabi, who's in 21. Down the strip. We get an easy single, who's bouncing down to McLean on long off. 1 more to the total.
Operating quite flat at the moment here Shadeen Nation, and you certainly expect it because you don't think that she's going to toss up any to them. And she's now asking her midwick just get a bit straighter because you're telling yourself once again she's going to be quite flat, probably just a bit straight as well, probably hoping to string together a couple dots for her side.
Flatter, faster, not a single, down to long off. And Ghaznabi thinking about a second, but I'm sure there was no communication initially about the second. Just one more to the total, 77 for 2. In over number 14, Ghaznabi in 22. Flatter fast swinging in the air, but will drop well short. Just out of the reach of Vanessa Watts running back from straightish mid-wicket, and well short of the fielder coming in off the long on fence. So one more to the total, just going on to 78 in over number 14. So Nation is in his second over, so 3 singles. First ball was a dot, so just 3 runs in the over so far. Campbell down the strip, we get another easy single, driving down to long off. So 4 runs, 4 singles from the 5 deliveries that have been delivered by Shadeen Nation. 79 for 2, 1 remaining in the 14th. Required rate 5.03. Nation looking to break this partnership. Full, swung away, will get a single. And Ghaznabi, a bit disappointed, did not capitalize on that full delivery to bring up the end of the 14th over. 80 for 2, Guyana.
Cruising at the moment, Guyana. Yeah, and I mentioned in terms of looking to just set themselves up for that last 5 phase, and certainly not wanting to take it all the way down to over number 20 for them. And this is fantastic work across the 4 overs in this 5 block of overs that we've seen between 10 and 15. And I mentioned, just doing those hard yards and making sure that is closer to 20 in terms of runs required in that last 30, and probably looking to win it probably around over number 18, because with these types of totals, you never really want to get it going into the 19th, never really want to get it going in to the 20th, because it's just at those moments that a bit of mental pressure also creeps in as well. A couple more mistakes, but this pair have batted fantastically so far. The experience coming to the fore for them, Shemaine Campbell and Shabika Ghaznabi, and for them it's just a case of now finishing the task and carrying it home. But Jamaica still feeling as if they're in this contest and making the changes. And it's going to be Selena White who is going to return ball 3 so far, 2 for 6. She has been the chief destroyer, and she's hoping that she can maybe pick up 2 more here now.
Yes, so Captain Stephanie Taylor is hoping that Selena White can break this partnership. Down the strip, that's Ghaznabi, got it on the full. And we'll get a single down to McLean, 81 for 2 at the start of over number 15.
It just might take something special, a stroke of magic. I think back to the 2 run-out chances, and that is what we could maybe consider to be the magic in terms of had it been on target. That is what they might need here just to pull themselves back into it.
Goes to Campbell, goes through for a quick single. Selena White trying to pick it up. She fell in the process, couldn't stop the run. 1 more to the total.
Yeah, it's just going to take something special from Jamaica. Can they find it within them?
So they look a bit flat, the Jamaicans. Heads bow. Looking for some inspiration, the Jamaicans. So Selena White will go into bowl to Ghaznabi. She pulls away, so that ball will be signaled by umpire Carly Tuckett. So in over number 15, 2 balls, 2 deliveries have been delivered by Selena White, so it's picked up 2 for 8. Captain Taylor turned to her, hoping to break this partnership. Down the strip and drive. We get an easy single. McLean from long on, fields 1 more to the total. Moves on to 83 in over number 15. The target is 110, 27 runs from 33 balls. And so the Guyanese would feel quite comfortable that they can make it up to the 110. But a couple of wickets here can put some pressure on the batters. Short delivery. Swung down towards the long leg area for a single. So the total moves on by 1 to 84. So 4 singles from the 4 deliveries that have been delivered by White. But the Jamaicans would want to break this partnership as the Guyanese are cruising to victory here in this encounter. The first of 3 matches to be played here today. As White and Ghaznabi into the onside. We get another single. It's down to 85. So they're doing it in singles in this over. 5 singles from the 5 deliveries. 1 delivery remaining in over number 15. The required weight 4.84. And need 25 from 31 balls. And still in White, 1 delivery to complete a spell. 2 for 11. Balls Campbell is playing it down to 3rd man, thinking about the single. Sent back by Ghaznabi to bring up the end of 15. Guyana 85 for 2.
Well, we're into the last 5, the last 30 deliveries of this encounter. This is the part of the match that matters most. Those 2 wickets to go down, Shanetta Grimmond and Mentore gone for 6, and to a couple spectators there, the girls of the Leeward Islands who will be playing in the match coming up after this. They'll be hoping that they can turn around their fortunes and get themselves a win here in the T20 Blaze. But the last 30 balls that matter, because no matter what you've done before, if you mess it up now, you're going to have to cry.
Jamaica lost their 3rd wicket with the score on 89, and it was their top scorer who went with the score on 89. Taylor, their captain, went for 48. These 2 have had an excellent partnership. Remember that the 2nd wicket went down with the score on 10, and so it's already a partnership of 75, and they'll be hoping that they will be able to stay there until the end.
Well, here we go, the business end. Both teams level on 8 points. The winner of this goes to 12 and give themselves the best chance of lifting that CWA Women's T20 Blaze title. Jamaica, defending champions Guyana. Well, they'll be hoping this could be their year.
Come on. One twin.
Subtract 1 from the runs needed, and certainly continuing to look easy for Guyana. And this is where I mentioned the possibility of maybe just getting 1 more into the circle for Jamaica, stopping maybe a couple of the easy singles, just to maybe attempt to build up some pressure on Guyana here, who at the moment look quite comfortable. Probably need to just force them to do a thing or 2 here, Jamaica. And that pierces the gap. And that's going to be 4 to Shabika Gajanabi.
Just dragged it down a little bit, and it was wide enough that if she had left it alone, it probably would have been called and signaled wide. But getting a boundary, which is much needed, and it will bring the required run rate just a little bit lower. But you have to say that these 2 have batted extremely well, and they're the captain and the vice captain.
The pace on that delivery were also what helped Shabika Gajnabi, in addition to the line of it. Been bowling quite flat and fast, Shadeen Nation, and as I mentioned, it's understandable given that you're just looking to apply that bit of pressure. But just in terms of that line, can't afford to get too wide of that off stump, because any bat onto it, and you'll see that ball run away towards the boundary.
19 required in 27. good, smart batting. Just using the feet and playing it down to long on. The fielder is on the boundary, so there was always going to be one.
Yeah, Gabby, yeah, Gabby, yeah, Gabby, yeah, Gabby.
Almost finding its way through. Shadeen Nation can't believe that that ball missed the off stump. Bye signaled by umpire Laborde. And one less for Guyana to get.
17 required now. And Jamaica's defense depends on this game. Because they lose this, they remain on 8 points. Guyana would move to 12.
Yeah, if they lose this one, they'll have to wait on the results from other matches. 16 bowled, it's a 93 for 2.
And the important thing is that the games on Saturday, all of the games start at the exact same time. They will be played around the island, at Connery and at St. Paul's. All the games will start at 8 a.m. Nobody will have an advantage of knowing what is happening in the other game because of a later start. And everybody will have the same opportunity to start very, very early. None of the games have started as early as the final round of games. And so it is going to be interesting to see what will happen. The Jamaicans are in defense of their title, in defense of 109 runs, 110 Guyana required to win. And this partnership has been a true inspiration, a partnership of 83 between the captain and the vice captain. Gajnabi is on 33 from 39, and Campbell is on 40 from 44.
Yeah, it's quite hot out there. And because of that, just a few extra liquids being taken on. Also because of the time spent at the crease by this pair. Fitness, obviously, a big question that you always have. And it seems as if they're still fit and ready to go. These two obviously spurred on also by the possibility of getting ever closer to what would be that T20 Blaze title. And the experience of Jamaica now standing in a bit of a small circle, a small huddle. And it really has to be a case of trying to question who did they go to, what did they do in this moment to find themselves back into this encounter. 17 runs needed, 24 deliveries.
Nene, come this way.
Notice
As I
we've had a
mentioned.
change of keeper as well.
Yes, indeed. It looks as if Rashada Williams might be coming on to bowl, and this is where I question, who do they turn to? It seems that conversation said, okay, Rashada might be the one with the golden arm here for us.
To you a little bit. Yeah, that's middle. And there's a
Trying everything here. Jamaica, last-ditch effort to ensure that they cling on to every possible chance of defending that title. What can Williams do for them?
McLean is now keeping wicket, and Williams, who was keeping wicket, will now be bowling from the media centre end.
Heavily fortified leg side field, deep backward square leg, deep mid wicket, and a long on the boundary, the protection on the leg side for Rashada Williams.
Short played into the offside, and they'll get a single. They're looking for 2. That's not on. And so Campbell will get 1. That will move her on to 41, and it's 94 for 2. Just another 18 runs needed. 16, in fact.
Big bowler shade, big bowler shade. Got this maestro.
Ready?
Yeah.
You come.
Williams getting some flight, and they're through quickly for a single. This is good alert running.
And that's what Jamaica actually can't afford here, because they brought it long off into the circle to be a position of mid-off. And it's just those moments that they need to just harp down on and ensure that they still apply that pressure. And it looks as if they're going to make a slight change as well. Going to ask long off to go back. Not exactly certain I agree with this move. I rather see the risk being taken to go over long off, and I would still also brought the cover in as well.
Williams.
And this time, it's just a comfortable single.
Well ball, maestro.
And here's where I thought why, because I would rather see Shemaine Campbell look to go over mid-off, and if she does clear, it'll be a fantastic shot by her. But just thinking about the required runs from them, it's just about trying to have that bit of extra pressure on at the moment. But Sting's just going Jamaica's way. And no, this could be the moment. No, in fact, umpire Candice aboard says no.
Smart bowling, though, because it seemed as if Gajnabi was advancing. And so it was tossed wide by Williams. But, you know, every now and again you meet a batter or a batsman who, instead of advancing, they kind of hop in their crease and gives you the impression that they're out of their creases. Umpire Troy Mills, who is behind me, is smiling. He knows of that. And for us in Nevis, we'll all remember Lewis Newton. He did that a lot.
That one called a wide, but it appears that Shabika Gajnabi is looking to take advantage now of the field. And funny enough, watching her warming up, she seems to favor going towards that cover region. This time down the ground. But I was mentioning how she was warming up. It was always a case of just taking 2 steps back towards the leg side and looking to access the cover region. Tried to do it 2 times there. Rashada Williams, though, going wide and wider and able to get back onto it. But it seems that she favors that type of a shot. Shabika Gajnabi.
5 runs in the over so far.
Looks as if the umpires are just looking to confirm how many left. 1 left in the 17th over.
Catch him.
That finds the gap. Take the runs required now into single figures. The end of 17. It's 102 for 2.
You have to admire the way that the Guyanese have paced their inning. And not only the way they have paced their inning, but as the tournament has gone on, they seem to be getting better and better, especially in their approach at the crease. You made an important observation early. You said that Campbell, the captain, said that she was clearer of mind, she knew what she wanted to do, and it's been shown here today. It's 102 for 2. 17 overs gone. They're looking for another 8 runs to win this game, and they have 3 overs to do that.
Yeah, I told her that she looks like a woman on a mission, and the mission clearly is not finished for her. A fantastic not so far, 46 from 47, and ably paired by Shabika Gajnabi, 35 from 42, and probably sailing in that ferry to what will be their final destination, known as a win for them. 18 deliveries left, just 8 runs for them to get. And I'm not one to pronounce the benediction, but it certainly looks as if this one could be Guyana's.
And the partnership is an important, big partnership of 92 between these two so far. The captain and the vice captain of the Guyana side came together with the score on 10 for 2. And now Shermaine Campbell is on 46 from 47. And Shabika Gajnabi, she's on 35 from 42. An important partnership for the Guyana side.
Yeah. Golden change, right hand over to you.
Let's go, Vanny, to the NB, to the NB.
Oh, no better time to do it
Got
than
this,
in what
B,
we're
we got
dubbing the
this, B.
first of 2 semi-finals. Today, these 2 sides tied on 8. One goes to 12, one stays on 8.
None.
Situation of yes, no, maybe so.
In the end, they couldn't decide, and so they went back to their respective creases and did so safely.
Vanessa Watts, she's here to bowl her final over. And I dare say, what can she produce for Jamaica?
Tight girls. Let's go,
She has been
big.
good so far. None for 8.
Dead, shut in.
Edges ever closer to home, Guyana. 2 more for them. And I mean, just 5 required now for Guyana. 2 away from a half century would be the second half century of this women's T20 blaze. The first going to Elia Aline of Barbados. Shemaine Campbell would like to register that one in the books along with the W. Fantastic call. And this is it. 50 for the captain. A fantastic knock for her, leading from the front. A clear mind producing excellent results.
She has looked good. She looked good in the Super 50, but just seemed a little bit impatient whenever she strode to the crease. This time she showed all the patience that was required and played extremely well. What was important in the running there at this time was that the non-striker Gajnabi had very clear view of the ball where it was played to backward point. And the loud shout to her partner and her captain was go, 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 because she was running to the danger end. And so she got the first run easily, and then there was an overthrow which resulted in the second run to bring Campbell on to 50. Unfortunately, we see that Gajnabi is down. The support staff will be out. Let's hope that she's okay. But we can tell you that it's 107 for the loss of 2. That the partnership between these two is an important 97 runs. That Campbell is on 50 and Gajnabi is on 36. Only 3 runs required for victory. And we still have 2 balls left in this over and another 2 overs to go. And so the required run rate is below 2 runs and over. This has been perhaps the best batting we have seen from the Guyanese so far. And importantly, Joel, no runouts.
Yeah, the word to describe it is quality. Absolute quality from them. And just 3 required now for Guyana. A wide +1 means that the scores are tied. 109 for 2 they are now. And just 1 away from going to 12 points in the CWA Women's T20 Blaze. All in all, hugs because they know that they are at the front door. Just need to open and say thank you very much.
1 away from 100 partnership as well.
Everybody except the cover sweeping on the boundary comes in to the 30-yard circle now. In fact, Anson cover to come in as well. Just looking to make it just a tad more difficult for Guyana, who just now need 1. That won't be it. They'll need to bowl 1 more. Gajnabi wants to get it done and dusted. Victory number 3 for Guyana in the CWA Women's T20 Blaze. A comprehensive win, a commanding performance, and one deserving of all the claps that they're getting from the balcony.
Very good victory, very easily done. And people always tell you, if you want to be the champ, you have to beat the champion. Guyana came out to the equivalent points with Jamaica, the defending champions, and they consigned them to a loss. And so Guyana, having won this game, they moved to 12 points with 1 game to play. And Jamaica, they remain on 8 points. Their best can be 12 points. And so we have to say congratulations to Guyana on an emphatic and an important victory.
Skipper Shemaine Campbell take a bow. Certainly leading from the front, came at a stage where they were 10 for 2. I mentioned in terms of how she approached her innings, you saw her take some time at the start, left alone quite a few deliveries outside of that off stump, played down a couple balls in front of her, got her eye in and then went through the gears for her into first gear, working around the ball quite nicely, into second gear, collecting those boundaries, and the perfect partnership with Shabika Gajnabi, ending 37 off of 46. So in the end, an 8-wicket victory for Guyana to send them to the top of the table and a chance on what is the title in this year's CWA Women's T20 Blaze. Coming up next, it is going to be the Leeward Islands, and they'll be taking on Trinidad and Tobago Red Force Divas, and that match that goes down at 2:30 p.m. right here at Warner Park. But that's it for match number 1. In about an hour.